Hello.
Well, again.
Well.
Yet again. We come back. We gather here
every
today.
single week.
Every single week, except for the 2 weeks over the holidays.
Well, we didn't do it live, but there was a podcast on one of those weeks.
I know.
You weren't on it.
Do we call that a podcast? If I'm not here, bitch, let's get real.
Yes, it's still a podcast.
Hello, everyone.
Hello,
What's
Christian
going on?
is here.
Hello, Christian.
How are we doing today, this week? I hope it was good for everybody. McKenna.
Hello. Everyone refreshed. Everyone ready for another Sunday.
Literally, Ricky.
Sunday's pretty much over. Everyone ready for Monday?
Hi, Chris. You made it to a stream. You did it. Effie.
Whenever we say Effie, I'm always like, Effie.
Effie. It's not just 3 dreams. There are 4.
I know. My favorite part of that is when the person in the audience, you hear so audibly go, oh. There really aren't 3 dreams. There are 4. Oh. It's like whoever put in that sound, like a special effect, was just like, you know what we need here? A old woman going, oh.
My favorite is when Beyonce is just like, Effie. The way she says,
oh. My favorite part of that also. We have so many favorite parts of that.
Of this like that one singular
scene,
moment.
Is when, she hugs Dina, she hugs Laurel, and Michelle just goes,
I know. And then she's just like, like a head nod.
You know that they hate each other.
Of course they do.
Sure,
Alex is here. Tyler. Montana is here. Yes.
Montana, hello.
Who knows what time it is in Australia?
I know.
Is it like 1 p.m.? It could be.
Yeah, well, give us the time.
Yeah, what time is that?
I know that it's at 5 a.m. here. It's midnight there. So, do that math.
Okay.
Someone do that math. I'm not doing that math.
Lapinda E, hello. Chris, of course, we're happy. Yazzy's here. Joe Y, jackalope. That is correct. This is a jackalope. This is a sweater from Bonobos.
What is a jackalope?
Well, I can look it up for you.
Okay.
It's an animal. The thing is, I'm not sure if it's real or fake. Okay. I assume real.
Okay.
Because people say the word jackalope.
I've never heard the term jackalope.
I'm going to look it up.
Hello, Montrez. Hello, Carol. Hello, Jake. I'm new here. What's happening? We're happening.
Oh, it's
darling.
mythical.
We are the moment. Oh, then it's not real.
From North American
then
folklore.
You need to leave.
You know what I think about folklore.
I don't know. I think you should leave if it's mythical. We are a news station here at
Yes,
Chicken
that's
Mats.
true. We're news first.
News first. Real news.
Labinda says, I'm new here. What's happening? We are going to be recording our podcast soon, and so we're all here.
Yeah.
Not real, LOL.
Yeah.
We're going to be recording the podcast soon.
Yeah,
but
this is what we do every Sunday. Every Sunday at 6:30 p.m. Pacific time. We go
Yes.
live. We chat with the people for 20 minutes or whatever.
Yeah.
And then we record the podcast,
Yes.
which you can check out.
It's available on Spotify, Apple Podcasts.
All of it. Or you could just sit here and listen to us.
Yeah,
still.
that's fine. Or both and. You never know.
Chat with the people.
Of course.
People got opinions up on here.
People know that it's not real. I didn't know.
I didn't know that
Hi,
it was
Miss
real or fake.
Steele. Oh, yes, your mama is here. Mama's
Hello,
here.
Mother.
Yes.
How
Hello.
are you?
Matt S., I saw Wicked yesterday. Your Dancing Through Life take was correct. What, that it's good?
That it's the best part of the show.
Oh, well, that's the take if anyone wants to agree with
Narratively,
that.
Dancing Through Life is the best part of the show. And when I first heard it on the cast recording, I was like, I do not like this song.
I still don't like it.
And then I saw the show and I was like, absolutely wrong opinion, old Matt Steele. Dancing Through Life is such a great part of the show.
Okay.
Defying Gravity, who?
Girl,
Dancing Through Life is it.
Don't do that.
Because that's the moment where it all happens.
Does it happen?
Yeah, it does.
That song is not it for me. That's all I know. My mom likes you. Oh, thanks, Tyler. What have you been listening today, Matt P? I don't know if I've been listening to a lot of anything. I went on a walk and I listened to some Bitch Sesh podcast. That was called My Mom on Said Walk. It was our, we try to talk once a week. And so I talked to her on the phone when I was going on my walk this morning. And
that's beautiful.
I think hopefully I've gotten my steps in because with the Apple Watch.
The new Apple Watch. We have to check. How many steps have you taken this year?
This year, it's been an average of around 10,000 a day.
Okay. So is that good?
It's good, yeah.
I bet you I beat it.
Okay, well, where's your fucking Apple Watch, bitch?
I don't need one to know I do more than 10,000 steps a day, baby. I got the ab muscles.
Well, I
don't.
That's okay. I have a full ring on my amount of exercise because my walk was about an hour.
Okay.
And then I have my full, have I stood for 1 minute every hour for 12 hours? And the answer is yes.
Okay.
And then I have a few more I want 91 more calories to move and burn because I have an 800. That's the number that I set.
How do you do that? You just go like this for the entire podcast.
The walking will do it. Janet's going back on tour. We're excited about that.
Was listening to a podcast that had similar thoughts about the Mean Girl character Katie being this. Listen, y'all are wrong.
Hey,
I'm so sorry.
I saw a lot of comments on that video. agreeing with me.
I would say like 2 agreed with me.
That's true. There were a couple that agreed with you.
There were a couple Katie stands.
And I'm not saying that Angori Rice, I'm sure she's great in other things.
She was in, I saw, she's in the movie The Beguiled that came out in like 2017 when she was a little girl.
Yay.
Now she's a grown woman.
She is.
And I'm just like, wow, I'm old. She's great in The Beguiled. I think that's the only thing that I've seen.
It's really smart, don't you think? You know, Black is this year's Pink.
Yes.
Is one of the absolute best part of the show. Is that not song? You know that I keep.
You know, Black is this year's Pink. You deserve each other. This hat and you. You're both so smart.
I mean, I hope Adam Parnell's not listening, but you know I really fuck with about 5 songs from Wicked.
Okay.
And I can go through and I can name them for him if you want.
Okay.
Okay.
My mother's obsessed with her steps on that Apple Watch. All I hear is her saying, I gotta close my rings.
You gotta close those rings.
Gotta close the rings.
That's the thing. I was told that it will be good for people who like to gamify things. Because it's like to gamify your exercise. It's like, oh yes, I got all my rings. I've gotten my rings all week. Like it just feels good and you're doing something good for your body.
Do you have 7 rings like Ariana?
No, there are only 3 rings.
Okay.
It's move, exercise time, and the standing, which I guess is important probably for older people. It's like, of course I'm going to stand 1 minute over 12 hours.
Because, you know, if you're not standing, you're either laying down, sitting down, or falling down.
Oh.
So,
which, by the way, it'll alert. It'll be like, have you fallen down? Do we need to call?
I thought it's like it gives you an alert like you are currently falling down.
You're falling down
Just
currently.
So you're falling down.
Make
Stop
sure
it.
to stop. She was in Mayor of Easttown. Love that.
Love you guys. I was looking forward to your Chapel Roan reaction.
Album reaction. Oh, well, maybe we'll do one month when we don't have a full album to review or react to. But if we do, we'll probably do it on our Patreon. You can become a patron by going to patreon.com/2gaymats. And we got several new patrons last week from, what did we post? Oh, the Chapel Roan reaction.
Yeah, we do have 3 songs that I reacted to of Chapel Roan on our Patreon already.
And he reacted to 3 Victoria Monet songs as well, which I'm going to edit and put up sometime this week.
Oh, I thought I was editing it.
Oh, you can if you want.
I'll edit it. Hey, girl, you do so much work. You hooked up all these wires. I sat here like a piece of shit.
That's all you had to say to me.
I was playing.
If you want to edit that, that is great.
That'll go up probably like, I don't know. I usually try to like space like the content out. So probably Wednesday.
Yeah,
I'm thinking it's a good middle of the week moment.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Montana, Adam may not be here, but I am. Well, you're gonna have to hear the truth about what songs in Wicked I fuck with.
All right.
And I mean, definitely For Good. Which you're a bitch about. Definitely. Oh, where is it? All right, full soundtrack.
Wizard and cast recording.
Well, I'm just reading the playlist. That's what pops up. The Wizard and I.
Oh,
iconic.
Better than Defying Gravity. Sorry, I think The Wizard and I is better than Defying Gravity.
What is this feeling? Also, classic.
I mean, a classic piece of
popular. I'm Not That Girl.
You know, that's your girl.
Fucking love I'm Not That Girl. Defying Gravity. I'm Not That Girl reprise. For Good.
Thank goodness. The Glinda's part of Thank Goodness. It's the best part of the show.
I don't really know what that is. I guess I will be, watching that in the film when it comes out.
Yes, and you'll be like, wow.
Until then.
I just remember like being a little like 10th grader when Wicked came out and being like, oh, it's all about Elphaba. Who cares about Glinda? Who cares about Glinda? It's all about Elphaba. And then I saw the show and I was just like, oh, fuck Elphaba. Glinda.
Look, we don't have to pick.
Role.
We can love them both.
We can love them both. They're both strong women.
Yes.
Yes.
I think of those songs, though, I do think I've picked a lot more Elphaba songs.
I mean, the thing is you left out some Glinda things like, Thank Goodness.
Oh, but I did like Popular. That's
yeah,
a Glinda
the thing
moment.
is when I first heard Popular on the cast recording, I was just like, I don't know if I'm into this. Like,
really?
I was like, it's cute, but it feels like kind of, like it felt so. The thing is, Popular is so easy and effortless as a song that I kind of just like didn't think about it.
Okay.
But then I saw it live and I was like, oh no, this is
a moment.
A moment in the show. This is an excellently crafted song.
I agree with these takes, and The Wizard and I is also better than Defying Gravity, and the Thank Goodness erasure is hurting my soul. Maybe once I see the film, I'll feel differently about Thank Goodness, but when you just listen to it.
Yeah, I'm sad. How to Dance in Ohio is already closing. I know, it's sad. I recently worked with a guy who's in the cast. A guy in the cast of How to Dance in Ohio is in the web series that I directed. That's coming out in like 5 days.
What's How to Dance in Ohio?
It's a Broadway musical.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry it's closing. There are bridges you cross you didn't know you crossed until you crossed them.
Yes. And if that joy, that thrill doesn't thrill like you think it will. Yes.
These are just words. To quote me from the Beyonce video, these are just words. The Wizard and I is iconic.
I mean, phenomenal.
Hope you've had a great week. Yes, thank you. What about No Good Deed? What about it?
No Good Deed's great. I don't know why you don't like No Good Deed that
Never
much.
did it for me.
Oh, Christian, I feel like you would like Wicked.
Yes, it's got some ballads.
It's got ballads.
It's got ballads. And if that joy, that thrill doesn't thrill like you think it will. Still.
Oh, he's gone to fetch me a refreshment. Oh.
Like, if someone had not seen Wicked, it's like, what's happening?
We're just shouting Glinda lines.
Oh, those gays said see you in court, sweetie, to Madonna this week. Actually, that is a funny news story. I should look that up.
I know. I really don't know how I feel about it.
I mean,
but I guess
we'll figure out how we feel about it together. Yeah. Madonna sued.
But like a comet pulled from orbit.
Oh, I do.
We
like
love
that.
A little simile.
You're so anti-for good, and it's so bad. It's so bad. Like, what a great song that is.
It's nice. I can't say it's a bad song.
It's lovely.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
It's just a little high school graduation-y.
This isn't like
a little basic. Like, why are we suddenly speaking in metaphors? Like, I don't know.
God. It's not like it's vitamin C. It's not that kind of graduation moment.
That's a classic
no,
song.
that song fucking blows. We all thought it was nice when we were graduating, but absolutely not. Have we pre-ordered Eternal Sunshine yet? Or are we going to wait for more information? I will listen to it on Spotify. So that's what I'll do. Chris is here to make sure you announce a Madonna dragging. The thing is, we'll talk about it, but like, I'm not about to drag Madonna, so I apologize to Chris. Yeah. Hot take: Madonna's mad. No, you've got to listen to those. Listen to the Immaculate Collection, one of the best, greatest hits album of all time.
Madonna did the thing.
She did the thing. Her personality is bad.
Sure,
but the music,
yeah. For Good was kind of met in the context of the show, and I was like, oh, that's it. I mean, Jake's not wrong. But then the monkey came and spoke to Glinda, and I was done. Absolutely, Montana is constantly watching.
Not Madonna. Not Montana. Montana.
Sometimes we confuse Montana and Madonna.
I mean, that's true.
Both icons, both legends.
Both legends. Both have done great things for the gays.
Yes, both wear great outfits.
Lauryn Hill will be watching that Madonna lawsuit. That woman is never on time. That's the thing. I think Lauryn Hill is on time much less often than Madonna is.
Lauryn Hill has fewer concerts than Madonna does. And
She does, but if we're saying percentage.
Okay.
Lauryn Hill's late to 90%.
Okay.
Catching strays means that, like, if you're talking shit about someone, but you accidentally talk shit about someone else that you weren't even meaning to. We do look alike. Not true. Starting a concert 2 hours after a listed time isn't even that late. Austin, Team Madonna.
I will also say that when I went to the Joanne tour, Lady Gaga was quite late.
Well, she learned everything she knows from Madonna. Apparently,
I was sitting there for like an hour and a half waiting for it to begin.
Mariah's been late.
A few times. Mariah's been late occasionally.
The thing is, that's a part of the fun with Mariah, you know?
Sure.
It'd be disappointing if she was right on time.
I don't know if Mira Sorvino would agree.
Well, that's why she got a salt shaker thrown at her, isn't it? It didn't hit her.
It didn't hit her, guys.
Mariah threw it. Mariah did throw it.
Did you watch Jennifer Coolidge's acceptance speech? She thanked all the evil gays. You're welcome, Jennifer.
Yes, thank you. Congrats on the shout out. Not this way of calling us evil. I listened to Ray of Light, but nothing else. Ray of Light was fine except for that title track, which was awful. No, Christian. I'm glad you liked a lot of the album. I would recommend the Immaculate Collection. I would also recommend Confessions on a Dance Floor. Both very up-tempo, but there's some ballads on the Immaculate Collection that I skip.
There are no ballads on Confessions on a Dance Floor, so maybe Christian won't like Confessions on a Dance because Christian likes ballads.
The Renaissance tour when I went was like, she went on much earlier than I thought that Beyonce would go on. I was like in line to get a drink. And then I was like, oh, guess I'm not drinking at this concert because I'm not missing a second. Even if you're going to sing Flaws and All, which, by the way, was an excellent performance. That song itself, I'm like not about. Mm-hmm. But the arrangement, the performance of that one, excellent. Beyonce was late and yet still an amazing concert. It's the issue with Beyonce being late to those shows is like sometimes that would mean she'd cut fucking Drunken Love and All Up in Your Mind. And what was the third song? Oh, Thick.
How do you just cut a number in the middle of the show?
Well, she has that whole section that she's like, it lifts right out. If we don't do it, it's fine. But
it's my God.
Cutting Drunken Love still is wild to me.
If you're going to cut anything from the concert, cut the ballads in the beginning. Like,
that's what I said.
Don't open for yourself. Just start with,
Right. She loved the opening for herself.
From the younger portion of Gen Z, do you think will be a huge star like the ones in the 90s, younger, as in Billie,
Who's asking?
Olivia Tate McRae. Like, who of the younger Gen Zs do you think will become like huge stars? I mean,
Billy's probably as big as one could be. So even if she like never released an album as big as that first one is, she will always be remembered for that hugeness. My money is on Billy or Olivia just because it's generally harder to start out later on. Like, it's like Tate's having a moment and is blowing up currently, but like, what album number were we on? And I think she's gonna have a huge album, and I just saw that she's back in the studio making what I'm sure is dance music, which is what her album should have been. But yeah, Billy's as big as a person can be. I would love if Chappell Roan was huge.
How old is Chappell Roan?
She's young.
Okay.
I would think she's what, early 20s?
Okay.
That's my guess.
I have no clue.
Yeah.
She's sort of like an ageless being from what I've seen.
Yeah, as another ageless redhead.
I've been told often I am an ageless being. I've been told I'm a weird ageless being.
She's 25.
Okay.
Chappell.
All right. Christian says actually he does like dance music, even sad dance music, if it's done in a certain way. Callum Scott's first album was a bunch of sad dance music.
Great. Have we talked about Renee Rapp mothering on SNL? Austin's in a Renee Rapp place. I need to watch. Apparently her performance of especially Snow Angel is excellent, and I need to watch that. My issue with Renee is and will always be the songs need to be better, and maybe they will become better because vocally there are no notes. That girl can sing her fucking face off.
Montana says don't count Sabrina out.
No, we're not. Feathers rising every week.
Why love Feathers? It's a cute girl. She's a cute girl.
Whatever.
Like Feathers is a cute girl.
Everybody needs.
There are amazing songs.
She needed a follow-up to Nonsense, which was a hit, and Feathers becoming a hit itself. So I think she's doing great. Hey, been a minute since I caught this live. Love you guys. We love you too, Jason.
Love you.
Tate says, or Grace says, Tate, I'm still confused about her being a singer. Is it bad? Like, I don't mind her little voice.
Her
like,
voice is fine. It totally works.
Grace and Price of Fame, who I don't know if wants to share his real name, but actively are like, she sounds awful all of the time. And I'm like, her voice isn't great, but it's like,
I don't think about it. It's pop music that like you don't think about the voice. Like,
right. And it works. It's not bad enough for me to take note. Like, not to catch a stray, but not like Jennifer Lopez. Like, I think her voice is bad enough that I'm like, whoo! It's like, so I was listening to a clip of Get Right, which is a song I have liked, but the verses are so high for us and she is fully on her voice. And I'm like, this isn't.
Are we going to talk about that trailer for that movie?
Yes.
All right.
Yes. The answer to that is yes. I agree with the Bailey sisters. Halle Bailey especially. She's extremely talented. Oh, you know how we feel about Chloe and Halle.
Sure, yeah.
Icons.
I saw that they're putting out music.
I saw that too.
Okay.
I hope it's true. I'm so excited.
Are there any male pop stars who are currently giving it all like the girlies are? Are there any males who are ever giving it all like the girlies are?
The answer is no. I mean, let's think. Are there young men that we care about?
We care about us, and we're young, and we're men.
We're men. I mean, how old is? I guess Bruno Mars is what, pushing 40 at this point. But
sure.
I love him.
But he looks young.
Looks young. It sounds like a fucking angel.
Yeah.
And I mean, if what's his face? Who's Jamie in the last 5 years movie? Jeremy Jordan. If he wants to have a pop career.
I mean, he's about to do The Great Gatsby, like on Broadway.
Okay, then he can do a pop career.
He's a little busy. I don't know if I don't know if he wants to do a pop career.
I know he probably doesn't.
Like I think he's like.
Troy. We like Troy.
Troy. We like
queer
Troy.
artists. Yeah, we like Troy. Grace wants to combine Renee and Maisie, and I'm still hurt. Tate suffers from indie girl singing, and her trying to become a pop girl. It doesn't work, except on a dancing level. Although Greedy is good, I think she can do it. I think like there aren't many people like outside of a Dua Lipa who are looking for like big dance songs right now. And so since Tate can really dance, I feel like songwriters are like chomping at the bit to write a big dance song for her because of how big Greedy. Like I just anticipate her next album is going to be fucking excellent. You know?
All right, fair.
Steven Schwartz is great and underrated, but not a performer.
Steven Sanchez.
Oh, Steven Sanchez.
Steven Schwartz is the writer of Wicked.
Oh.
The composer of Wicked, Pippin, Children of Eden, his best score.
Okay. Harry Styles. Well, yeah, he's had some good songs.
Justin Timberlake just announced a new album. I think I saw the title. It's like, this is I'm not who you think I am, or something like that.
Like everything I always wanted, or something. It was something base.
I don't know. I have high standards for my pop stars. My mom exposed me to all the greats.
Good for you.
I agree. Tate better be making 95% up-tempos from now on.
She has to. Like, it would make no sense if she was still doing ballads.
What's taking Bruno so long with a new album? Price of Fame wants to know. I mean, he's still trying to fix whatever rival
I'm
fight
thinking
is going on between.
he's feuding with Anderson .Paak, and that takes up a lot of time. Justin Timberlake's album is Justin Timberlake Presents Everything I Thought It Was.
Everything I thought it was.
And his single is called Selfish. And I'm like, isn't there already an NSYNC song called Selfish?
Did it come out?
Nobody sang it. He had a live show somewhere and
Okay.
posted a clip of it on his Instagram.
Was it
and it's
cute?
It's fine. It's it's not good enough for me to stop hating him. You know what I'm saying? Like it's like, oh, this is fine.
Remember what was
Filthy.
Yeah, remember
it's
that?
not that. It's like he's making like hot adult contemporary kind of.
Okay.
Like I'm singing pop songs over like a light backbeat.
Okay.
So
it's not Dance Dance Dance.
No.
Okay.
God fucking damn it. Is there a song I hate more? Like
I don't know.
abhor Can't Stop the Feeling. Wait, why are they feuding? Because I believe they are. I'm pretty sure. Jeremy Jordan has a rock band, but I still haven't listened. Oops. I mean,
Okay.
we don't want a rock band.
I mean, what if it's really good rock?
Well,
What if it's Olivia Rodrigo, like angsty pop?
I would
angsty
love
pop
that,
rock?
but I'll never know.
Okay.
There's no way I'll ever get to that. Still want a patron request of Man of the Woods. Like, I don't know why y'all want to hurt me. Why you want me to be upset.
You know who directed the music video for "Say Something" with Chris Stapleton, one of the directors of the new Mean Girls movie.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
When I was looking up the directors they're a husband and wife team, and I think the guy directed the Justin Timberlake Chris Stapleton, which was a very nice music video.
I
It was
don't
a
remember
cool music
it
video.
too much.
They're walking through a giant, I don't know, it looks like a coliseum or something, and it's pretty cool, you know.
Christian, justice for Man of the Woods, JK. I love it. Price of Fame, please do not request Man of the Woods. I'm already watching fucking Babylon for you people.
You're watching Babylon for yourself, okay?
I'm really not.
What's something you guys want to see on Eternal Sunshine that Ariana hasn't really done?
I mean, from what I'm hearing about it, it's going to be like 90s R&B, pop R&B throwback moments. And I think at this stage of her career, it's going to sound more lush and be more her perspective versus like a Yours Truly.
Okay.
So I'm just excited to see that. I mean, I'd love to hear some big vocals from her. Because Yes And is a great, reintroductory track, but I love the vocals.
Okay.
Let's hear some vocals.
That Chris Stapleton, he's a really good singer.
Yes.
I love Chris Stapleton.
Have Chris Stapleton and Kelly Clarkson ever sung together?
Yes,
Okay.
on Glow on her Christmas album,
right, that's
which is
true.
the song that I loved and you didn't give enough credit to.
I just was so in love with Merry Christmas, the one I used to know.
Yeah, but you should be in love with other songs as well. You can be in love with multiple people at once, and so you can do that with songs as well.
You can do that with songs. I'm tempted to begin requesting High School Musical films. I mean,
Yes,
you know that he would love that. And
Let's go.
I like those movies. The second one
Second one's a
has
cute
some
girl.
problems.
Second one is very fun. The musical numbers are great.
It has some problems. You wouldn't say it has some problems?
I would say everything has there's room for improvement with everything except
Wow.
the third one, which is
the
flawless.
third one is
That
excellent.
flawless
The third one is excellent.
cinema.
Yes. OMG, Tyla also, she's so amazing. I've heard that Tyla, because the thing is, I think I've only heard Water still, but I've heard like her other music is very good too. So I'm happy to give Tyla a listen.
What's Tyla?
Tyla is, she had the TikTok viral song like "Make Me Sway, Make Me Harder."
When you say
Make
TikTok
me
viral
lose
song,
my breath.
I'm not gonna know what the fuck that
Make
is.
me water. Nothing.
Nope.
It was
It
very
sounds
popular.
nice.
Second one is Camp, but it has Bet on It. Bet on It's the problem.
Oh, Bet on It is never a problem. Bet on It is what we want.
Someone needs to request for them to listen to Carousel so Matt P can get ready for Matt S.'s movie
Oh,
adaptation.
thank you. But Adam Parnell
I think-
requested
yeah, I
that.
think it's in the-
and so
on the
that's on the list.
Next week
That's
we're
coming up.
listening to
Melanie Martinez. I already listened.
Should I be nervous?
No.
Okay.
No. You
Because
shouldn't
I
be
was nervous just because I've heard about like the baby doll and the Lolita stuff. And
Yeah, the imagery is not our cup of tea.
Sure.
But like you have no reason to be nervous. for
like
the music.
musically, okay, great.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
all I wanted to know. Okay, great. So I'm not, because sometimes I get the like, oh, this is what we're listening to next, and I like basically have nightmares until having to listen to it.
Sure, yeah. There's nothing to be nervous
Nothing
about.
to be nervous about, right.
Yeah, but the big eye bunny rabbit thing, I'm just like
I don't
I'm
want
scared.
that. I don't want that. She's an adult now, right?
Yeah,
Look up her age.
So I don't use TikTok, but I know songs that get popular from it. Yes, Tyler, and I still need you to listen to Meta, Matt Palmer. I haven't steered you wrong with Victoria.
You did not. Maida, all right. That's on the list. I still haven't recovered from the Mean Girls video. That was, It was a fun one, and I think I'm gonna need to make a TikTok of it. But who has the time? But I'm gonna try to in the next couple of days.
Yeah, you have more time now that you're not editing the Victoria Monet.
That's
reaction.
true. So maybe this week I can make a little short.
I'm not making a TikTok. Matt Palmer knows how to make the TikTok.
I mean, you could do it.
I could, but
it would not be hard.
But I'm scared.
You made the fucking Olivia Rodrigo bad idea right one.
I hated it.
The day the Good Witch review comes out will be my holy revival.
Yes, the Good Witch.
Hello. I'm excited to hear it.
I mean, we know I love Maisie Peters.
I know you do. You and Maisie.
Do you guys think of Act 2 of Renaissance is coming this year? No. I don't.
I think it's a possibility.
I don't think Act 2 exists.
It does exist. We're getting something. It wasn't the tour. It wasn't the film. We're getting something.
Okay.
I'm hopeful. I retain hope.
I'm glad that Act 2 was not the film. Like,
Yes.
I'm glad that,
Yes.
I feel like calling, the same thing
Another
an
act. It's like, no.
It's like, I feel like that,
Hi from Spain, guys
Hello,
and gays. Hi,
hola.
Pablito.
Renee Rapp could be another main pop girl, but I want her to do R&B. That Terrell Show interview where she sung Beyonce really fit her voice.
I'm excited to hear Renee do different stuff, whatever it is, just new things. Do you think the visuals will ever come out? I hope so. I'd love to see them.
I agree with Price of Fame. I don't think Act 2 and 3 are even real.
They are real. She may not have made them all already, finished the whole thing, but there's a vision, and the vision's coming. Can we get a retroactive Color Purple review? Because I need in-depth thoughts to discuss because none of my friends saw it. It's not a terrible idea. Yeah. I could see us discussing that.
Why didn't your friends see it?
I don't know if I remember it. I remember it well enough, right?
I saw it twice.
Oh, well, I've only seen it once.
I've held this long enough, but I care too much to let you endure this pain any longer. Every fantasy related to Beyonce needs to be let go. You know what, Montana? You are stronger than we are.
I believe. I'm going to continue believing that. A, I believe in the visuals. B, I more than believe in Act 2. Because the thing is, even if she just made a whole new fucking album right now, she could call it Act 2. Something.
But what if she wants to do something aesthetically different from Renaissance? What if she's like, oh, I'm tired of this silver shit?
But the Act 2 probably is going to be aesthetically different.
Okay, but then would it still be called Renaissance?
I don't think it'll be called Renaissance. I think it'll be called Act 2, blah, 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 blah. Because it was Act 1, Renaissance.
Oh, I thought it was the whole project was Renaissance.
No.
There was Act 1 of Renaissance, Act 2 of Renaissance. No one knows.
I know. I know
knows.
that it's like Act 1, Renaissance.
But what is it Act 1 of?
I don't know. That we don't know.
We still don't know what the whole big project is.
Don't.
It's been over a year.
We know that the Act 1 was Renaissance.
Okay.
It's good to
Listen,
believe.
Beyonce, you're getting a little messy.
I believe. I will not let go of Beyonce. The visuals, I'm going to be hopeful about. Montana, I'm hopeful.
Steele, how many times have you watched your Color Purple screener? None. I've already seen it twice.
Yeah, you saw it in theater.
Yeah. And I don't want to watch it on a little tiny computer or whatever. Get out of here.
Right. Can you stream it to your TV? Or probably not.
I'm sure I can.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Palmer's right. Yay.
Beyonce releases doesn't exist to me until they are playing in my ears.
Beyonce, Sufjan Stevens creating albums for every single state in the U.S. and then gave up after 3. Oh my gosh.
Did he really? What?
I mean, Sufjan's been through it. Remember when I told you about it? Yeah. Sufjan, I don't know anything about Sufjan Stevens really, except the fact that he's gone through a lot. No one can ever come for my Swiftie Easter egging again. Everyone should enjoy what they want to enjoy and believe what they want to believe. But I do think there's a difference between I believe Beyonce will give us something versus Taylor said this at 2 p.m. Via Instagram. So XYZ is happening. That feels like a bit more.
But the Beyonce stuff is so not
It's
specific.
That's the thing. It's so nebulous that it's just
it's of course she's going to give us something.
There will be new music one day. It's not a ridiculous thought. Thinking the visuals could exist. Matt P. So wait, the visuals are supposed to be different from the movie. No one knows.
No one knows.
No one knows. I believe yes.
Does she know?
She knows.
Okay.
I believe the answer is yes. Thoughts on the announced Grammy performers? I think Miley Cyrus hasn't performed in a minute, and so it'll be good to see her. I don't think has she ever performed Flowers in a public on television?
I can't think of any moment.
Eric, Chloe, and Halle are coming out with the music. Yes, we've heard that too. I'm excited.
I can't believe that album was 4 years ago.
God, was it? Was it pre-COVID?
It was like, no, it was like middle of 2020.
Oh,
so
okay.
like by the time the new album comes out, it
will have been
probably
4
be like
years.
4 years. It was like what, June of 2020?
Right.
Maybe? I don't know. I could be wrong about the month, but
I'm excited for that. But what talented young ladies.
yeah.
Okay. Should we get started?
Yeah, why not?
Okay, let's do it.
Okay.
Okay, you gonna record over there?
Okay. All right. Guys, Matt Palmer is very Jackson coded right now. with a cute little animal on his sweater. It's very like me and Jackson coded. I feel like we're like rubbing off on you.
I mean, it has been 5 years with Jackson as of this weekend.
So that's right. Happy anniversary.
Thank you
5
so
years.
Much.
Half a decade.
Half a decade.
Half a decade
Can you
of your
believe that?
life was with a man.
Was with a man. The same man.
That same man. And I met that man that very first day.
I forget if it was our first or second date.
It was your first one.
It was the first.
Yeah, because the second date at the end you were angry because he hadn't kissed you yet.
Okay, I don't know if that was for public consumption, but yes, a person when they like someone else wants them to kiss him. All right, and it happens.
I just remember the washing machine was broken. Or the dryer was broken or something, and I was wringing my underwear out in my bathroom sink, and Matt Palmer was like, "But I like him, so why hasn't he kissed me?" And I'm like, "You should just kiss him."
Well, I didn't want. I was trying to be, waiting a little bit. I was being a demure young man, like I always am.
You are the princess in the relationship. Guys, it's established.
I don't know. But yes, 5 years is great. It was very exciting. And he got me something else from Bonobos for Christmas. And I was like, I like what you've gotten, but I think we can do a little better. And the jackalope is something that kind of came from Jackson in that way.
I don't know what a jackalope is, but apparently it's a word that people know.
It's mythical.
It's mythical. God, animals, fantasy.
Right.
You are just morphing before my very eyes.
It is wild that I've been with him for half of the time that we've been doing 2 Gay Mats at this point.
Oh my God. Stop. Don't say that. We got it.
Okay. I'm sorry for freaking out, everyone. We'll take a...
We need a break.
We'll need a break.
Listen to this message.
Yes. Oh, God.
I think I start.
Yes.
Hey, everybody. Welcome back to another 2 Gay Mats podcast. It's Matt Steele.
And it's Matt Palmer.
And it's been another week, another rainy week in Los Angeles. It has been raining, and everywhere else in the country, it's been snowing.
I know. That's the thing is I feel bad complaining about our weather when it's like, oh, yeah, it's in the negatives and we're frozen in. And like my mom's like, oh, yeah, we've been having the water on in the sink all week because it's been below zero, like the highs. I'm like, oh, well, the 50s are tough too.
Well, and also like when I say it's been raining in LA this week, I mean there was one day of rain.
It might rain tomorrow.
It might rain tomorrow.
And it was gloomy today.
It was gloomy today, but then the sun came out for a little bit. But yeah, so guys, tomorrow pray for us.
Yes.
The sky might open again.
Hard being LA natives at this point.
It hasn't been raining as much as it rained last year.
That's
time
true.
last year,
it was a lot of rain.
It was so much
Which,
rain.
by the way, we did get a lot of nice greenery. Like I feel like the lawn in front of my apartment has looked really green and lush ever since. So like if that's what rain's for, then hey, we need a little bit.
Who knew that rain served a purpose?
Here in LA, we have no idea what rain's even for.
I know,
but like it kind of slays.
It's kind of awesome,
It's kind of a
until
slay,
it's like
true.
hitting you, and then you're like, okay, it doesn't slay.
I
anymore.
know. It's like watching. It's the same way I feel about snow. It's like if I'm inside and watching it outside, it's like wow.
I haven't hung around in snow in so long because when I'm home in Jersey, like for the holidays, it rarely snows in December in Jersey. It's usually like January when it starts to snow.
Got it.
So like it's been a while since I've hung out in snow.
I feel like it was a couple of years ago, not because it was 2 Christmases ago when we went, maybe 3 even, when we went to Chicago to visit Jackson's side of the family, and there was snow happening there, and it was nice. It was like I have not seen snow in person. I guess I went to Big Bear probably and saw it there, but it's just nice.
Yeah, I think when I went to Big Bear in 2020, there was like some snow on the ground.
Totally.
And I just like put my foot in and went crunch, and I was like, huh,
Yes.
novel.
You've engaged with snow.
I've engaged with snow.
So Matt Steele.
Yes.
How was your week?
My week was very nice. I can't say I did much.
Yeah.
I don't know. Just I went to Burbank and I saw the movie Mean Girls in Dolby.
Yes.
Which if I'm not going to talk about it much on the podcast because we already have a video review of Mean Girls. But if you haven't checked out that video, spoiler alert, I loved it.
He loved it, I think, more than anyone that I have spoken to.
I don't understand why people have such a problem with it because I found nothing but joy, nothing but laughter. I thoroughly enjoyed that movie so much.
I enjoyed it, and I'm happy it exists. I also won't go into detail, but I had some critiques.
You can critique anything until the cows come home, except for me. But
Yes.
I thoroughly loved it. So
Yeah.
that was a very big highlight of my week. I
Nice.
did also see another movie this week, which we will get into
Okay.
for the Giving Me Moments section.
Love that.
I worked. The web series that I directed, Hustling, is coming out next week.
Yes.
So just did a couple things to get ready for that. Like, had to,
Exciting. 5 days away.
5 days away.
Yes, everybody stream.
Everybody, you can see the trailer for it on my Instagram at It's Matt Steele on Instagram. And so I'm excited for that to come out. I had to start editing like little clips, like 30-second clips, to like promote it and
Of course.
all that fun stuff, the awful social media shit.
Yes.
And so, just doing things for that. So Matt Palmer, what did you do?
What did I do this week? It was similarly very low key in celebration of our anniversary. On Friday, we went to a place that had very good mocktails because, again, we're in the midst of dry January and we're going to try to keep to it for all 31 days of January. And so we went out to this place that was in a place called Highland Park. And it's a place, they're not paying me to say this, but it's called Highly Likely. And they had really good meatball. We had a little bit of pasta. And
I love how you made that singular. They had really good meatball.
they had a really good meatball. I mean, it was truly just one big meatball.
Oh, it was just a ball of meat.
It was just a ball of meat.
Would we call that a meatloaf?
It was circular. I don't tell you. It's a circle. It was
Okay.
a ball.
Okay.
And it was great. That I could say was maybe my favorite thing I had. I will say I wanted a faux espresso martini, and they were like, ooh, our barista's out. He's sick. So, like, we take coffee really seriously here, and so we can't make you this drink. And I was like,
there aren't multiple people who know how to make this.
That's what I said.
Isn't there a binder of just like the recipes of all the drinks?
Then the person next to me ordered a espresso martini with the alcohol and received it. And I was
Wait,
like,
hold on. You need the special person
Yes.
to like know how to make it without one of the ingredients.
Right.
Isn't it harder to make it with one of the ingredients?
I don't know if maybe there was a vat of espresso martinis made with the alcohol in it, and they didn't know.
So
how
these
to make
weren't fresh espresso martinis.
I don't know that. This is literally all conjecture. All I know is they received one, and I was told I couldn't have one. But I had a nice like knockoff Aperol spritz, and so that was nice. And then on Saturday we went to Draft Alamo. Whatever it is.
Alamo Draft House.
Alamo Draft
movie
House
theater.
to see the film All of Us Strangers and eat a little bit of food because I was like, oh, we've not done this. Dinner and a movie. So it always seems like nice. And that was a very cool theater. And the movie itself, which I believe was your Give Me Moments 1 week.
A couple weeks ago, yeah.
I enjoyed it a lot. I thought it was very interesting. And, you think, oh, it's Paul Mescal, it's Andrew Scott, it's a gay story. And, like, it's our anniversary. What a fun anniversary celebratory
Oh,
view.
you think it's going to be like a romantic movie?
I was thinking.
Oh, strap in, bitch.
It was not. It was more intense than I was expecting. I was just.
Especially the end.
Especially the end.
Where you're just like, whoa.
And you're like, holy moly. So
Yeah.
I would recommend seeing it. I wouldn't recommend seeing it if you're looking for like light gay fare.
Okay, but now that you're in the second half of your first decade with your lover, you like
going
are
with Lover?
we're going with Lover to
Okay.
promote the great Taylor Swift album that didn't get enough. And so I think now is the time where you start like delving into like your deep emotions with Jackson and like your traumas.
I didn't-
And so I think this movie is a wonderful entry into that.
Sure, but do you usually spend the anniversary date uncovering the traumas? Because I feel like I don't need to do that exactly.
Yeah, why not?
So
it
it was
was a great like date movie.
It's a thinker and it's an intense watch. It's good. And Andrew Scott, I thought a lot of the performances were
phenomenal.
excellent.
Those performances
Andrew
were so
Scott,
good.
unfucking believable.
Yeah.
But also Jamie Bell and Claire Foy.
People aren't giving Jamie Bell enough
Really?
for that performance.
I thought he was
Like,
excellent.
I mean, people are obviously like he's great.
Yes.
But like out of the 4 performances, I feel like people talk about Jamie Bell the least, and I loved him.
Really?
So
No,
much
I
in
thought
that
he was
movie.
excellent. And
Oh.
even just like the character felt very true to life.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
it's hard to talk about it without spoiling exactly what's happening there, but it felt very true to life. He was loving, but he was of his era. And so some of the things he'd say, he'd be like, "Oh!" But yes, so it's one that I would recommend, but also I would not recommend for if you're looking for a light, happy, gay fare.
No, you thought it was light. And
I thought it was like, Paul Mescal's gay. Hot.
Aren't we all happy Paul Mescal's gay today?
Exactly. So that was a fun moment. And then today we went over to our friends Joe and Tim and played a lot of games with them. We played that card game. I don't know if I told you about it. It's called Sabotage, where it's like you're trying to make 5 boba drinks. Oh, you'd like like it. It's a boba-based card game.
I'd rather be drinking the boba than playing a game.
But I lost, which was upsetting. But then we also played a game that I feel like a lot of Gen Z kids played during the pandemic called Among Us, which is basically similar to Traders, similar to Mafia, but it's all on your phone. And so we were playing the 4 of us on our phones, but also with like 4 randoms and being like, who do you think is like the imposter? You see if they've done anything sus, which is suspicious for the youths. In your view, you're welcome. But I will say that I won as an imposter. I keep wanting to say traitor because I'm only thinking about Traders
or Mafia, like whatever.
Right, but I did win once as the imposter, and I felt really good.
Congratulations!
Thank you so much. That was a big moment for me.
Okay, you know what? You made it so far in your life.
I really did
so much.
I really did. So I guess we should jump into the news for idiots, which I'm warning you now, there's not a lot.
Hey.
So we'll be just scratching the surface here.
There's not a lot of news, but we are a lot as people.
Absolutely, we are. So the 75th Primetime Emmy Awards occurred. Were they last Monday?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. So they happened, and the winners, I feel like the big winners were very similar.
3 things won.
Very similar to the Golden Globes, right? It was The Bear, it was Succession, it was Beef.
And that's it. Thank you for playing, ladies and
Quinta
gentlemen.
won for Abbott,
yes.
and Jennifer Coolidge won for The White Lotus.
And Niecy Nash for supporting actress in a miniseries.
Yes.
For Dahmer. So
film you starred in.
Well, not a film, a miniseries.
Oh, it was a miniseries.
And starring is a stretch. I was in 2 minutes of Dahmer. And
yes.
so it's cool to be like a part of an Emmy Award winning entity.
And you got a hit tweet off of that entity.
I did.
Congratulations.
Yes, thank you so much
for that.
It's hard. It's hard. Tweeting is hard, guys.
It really is.
Yeah, so it was fun. I was watching the Emmys at the restaurant at work, and then we had like a problem in the back at the restaurant. I'll just say that.
You can find the tweet. He explains that.
And so we had to shut down. And so while we were like shutting down, I got to like watch the Emmys on the TV and like hear them play. We were essentially like open only for takeout.
Yeah.
And so it was really fun to like watch the Emmys as I was like getting paid on the clock and everything. And I have to say the Emmys this year were excellent.
I heard
like,
that.
Really, really well done. I think Anthony Anderson did a really good job. The way they introduced all the categories of like reuniting casts of different older hit shows, like they reunited the cast of Cheers to present this award, and they reunited the cast of Martin to present this award.
That's cool.
And all this, it was like, and they would like be on their little sets of their old shows and everything. And it was really fun. It was really, really snappy, really fast. And so I just remember watching it. And, you know, I'm not one to, if an award show goes a little long, to like be like, oh God, what a drag.
Right.
But after like seeing these Emmys, I'm just like, okay, like while I'm not super critical of like how award shows are directed,
yes,
this is really how you do an award show, you know? So when you see like a really great example of that, the one sort of thing where I'm kind of like, I go back and forth on is how they ended the acceptance speeches, where Anthony Anderson was like, if your acceptance speech goes on too long, then my mom will stand up in the audience and tell you to shut up and be like, your time is out and everything, which like, it was objectively funny. Like it was very funny.
Yes.
But then it kind of turned into like these people's acceptance speeches were then like being overshadowed by this really funny lady and the acceptance. And so I feel like if they were going to do that, then the acceptance speeches should have been given more time, like a little more time. Yeah. That way it wasn't constantly every speech you're being interrupted by this really funny lady. Like she was really good. She would just be like, baby, time. And the person up there would be like, no, wait, I'm done. I swear. But everyone was a very good sport about it.
That's nice.
You know, because they're all TV people, so they know that they have to work quickly.
Right.
And like they're on a schedule, and it was a lighthearted night. So it really was a wonderful ceremony.
I am more interested in television than movies, as you may know. Yes. And so I was really trying to watch this maybe like the day after on Hulu. But I swear I was looking at the Hulu app at maybe noon, 2 p.m. that day after it had aired, and there was still nothing. And I think it went up like the following day. Like it might have been Wednesday by the time it came up, and I was like, I'm no longer interested. Like I was curious about watching it, but then it was like, well, it expires on Monday, so if you don't see it between this day and this day, you're not going to see it. It's like, well, I have a life. Like I have a job. I can't spend my whole life around the Emmys, but I am happy to see the winners. People I loved won, but I just wish it was made more readily available on Hulu more quickly after it initially was aired.
All right, television people, 24 hours, acceptable. 48 hours, Matt Palmer can't be bothered.
I mean, come on. Could you imagine?
48 hours hours is unacceptable.
Yes, if you had to wait that
If I
long.
had to wait that long for
a
like
Big Brother
even the
episode?
Golden Globes,
I know.
I would be like, absolutely
It's
not.
it's
Like
too long.
if I was like a huge like television junkie and I was like
Right.
really excited for the Emmys in the same way I get excited over the Oscars, like
Yeah.
I would not be able to wait 48 hours
Hello?
for that. Like, come on, like the Golden Globes were up, I don't know, like 5 hours after they were done.
Right. So that was not my favorite moment. Apparently the ratings were not good, even though I've heard from several people that the award show itself was great. But this also isn't the normal time that the Emmys happen
It's a
during the year.
Monday,
It is
yeah.
like not normal that it happens at this time of year, and then it's a
this
Monday
time
as
of
well.
year, yeah.
So it had 4.3 million total viewers, an average 0.85 rating among adults 18 to 49. So if just for comparison's sake, the 2022 show hosted by Kenan Thompson drew 5.9 million viewers, which was the most recent record for the award show, reflecting a 25% drop in viewership from the previous year. So I guess it's hard. I feel like ratings are always going to be going down at this point. We have so many different ways to watch television. If it was up on Hulu the next day, then people could have watched it there. So I don't think it's that big of a deal, but it's just something to note.
It's okay, guys. It's going to be what it's going to be. Art is going to be what it's going to be.
How do you feel about the BAFTA nominations?
BAFTA nominations are exciting.
I
They're
feel like
scandalous.
I feel like there was a lot of discussion around them, and I couldn't exactly understand why. But I do like that now that I've watched All of Us Strangers, I'm understanding some of the nominees a bit better, and I'm hoping to watch more films by the time the Oscars happen. There are films I don't want to see, like Maestro or Oppenheimer, but I do want to see.
But they're great.
Oh, that's great. But I do want to see, even though these I don't know if are British, I want to see The Holdovers really badly.
Oh, The Holdovers is so lovely.
I feel like I'm going to love that one. So that's like number one on my list. But yeah, how did you feel about the nominations?
I thought the nominations were very exciting because I think, and a lot of people are very angry about the nominations. 'Cause,
Really?
like, they think that they're not going to align with the Oscars 100%. But people get angry when seasons, like award shows, align too much. They
Right.
get angry when they don't align enough. Like people are just going to be angry no matter what, and you just got to deal with it. It's so interesting because the best film nominations were Anatomy of a Fall, The Holdovers, Killers of the Flower Moon, Oppenheimer, and Poor Things. So you would think like, oh, they must have really loved Killers of the Flower Moon.
Yeah.
But Killers of the Flower Moon, besides in Best Film and Best Supporting Actor for Robert De Niro, it got shut out of everything else. Like, I don't think it got a screenplay nomination. Martin Scorsese did not get nominated. Lily Gladstone did not get nominated for leading actress.
Didn't she just win?
She just won the Golden Globe
Wow.
for drama, and she's considered one of the two frontrunners for leading actress this year at the Oscars. So people were very, very shocked
Who's
about
the
that.
other person that could win that award at the Oscars?
Emma Stone for Poor Things.
yes,
Though
yes.
some people are like, ooh, Sandra Hüller could win for Anatomy of a Fall. That could be like the sort of dark horse that sort of creeps above the two of Lily and Emma split votes. So I'm very excited. But who did get nominated for leading actress at the BAFTAs is none other than our American Idol, Fantasia Barrino Taylor, for The Color Purple, for the performance of the Millennium.
Congratulations to Fantasia.
I'm thrilled about that.
I'm thrilled for her as well.
Yeah, it seems like they liked Maestro quite a bit. Like Bradley Cooper got nominated for director, which a lot of people have started to think like, is he going to get snubbed for director for the Oscars and everything? So I and I really loved Maestro, so I'm really happy that got in for director. I'm very happy that Zone of Interest got in for director. Anatomy of a Fall, All of Us Strangers, Maestro, Oppenheimer, The Holdovers. A great list of like director nominees. Charles Melton was snubbed for May December for supporting actor, which was a very big shock.
Yeah.
And I think he will get in for the Oscars.
Okay. I feel like I've heard a couple of award shows. Tell me if there was another one where Charles Melton got snubbed, though. Am I wrong?
SAG Awards.
That's
The thing
weird.
is, I feel the BAFTAs obviously are the British like Academy Awards. The Brits, they have their specific tastes and everything. But also the SAG Awards. I was thinking about it because those nominations came out, a week ago.
Yeah.
The way the SAG nominating process works is you get an email saying like, would you like to be on the nominating committee?
Okay.
And so you have to sort of like sign up. I think it's like 2,000 nominators. Half are film, and they only do the film nominees. Half are the TV people. They only do the TV ones.
Okay.
The people who actively read all of their emails from SAG are probably going to be a little older. Because the kids in SAG, like,
Right.
girl, I get those SAG emails, and I'm just like, I'm delete. Like,
Even
so
when it's about voting for the awards, I feel like you would love
I'm just
that.
like, unless it says like, hey, your dues are due. I'm like, oh, what is this? This is a promotional something, you know. So I always miss that email.
But you vote, right?
Oh, of course. I'm
Okay, just
voting
making
the
sure.
SAG Awards, of course, as a
Yeah.
voter. So I feel like the SAG nominating committee might tend to skew a little older.
Okay.
Which is why like a movie like Naiad, which is a fucking great movie, which
Mm-hmm.
I loved, like did more like got more nominations than like December did at the SAG Awards,
Okay.
or like Saltburn at the SAG Awards,
Right.
because those movies may tend to skew for like a younger demographic,
Yes.
whereas you know an older demographic like would really love Naiad, you know. So there are reasons for these things. It's all very exciting. It's all very cool. I love seeing what resonates with different people. So I don't know. I'm excited for the BAFTAs to see what happens, and I hope Charles Melton gets nominated though.
Okay.
At the Oscars. I think he will.
I guess we'll see on Tuesday, right? That's when the nominations come out?
Yeah, that's right. In like
Wow.
3 days, in 48 hours.
Oh my gosh.
As we have established, is a long ways away.
Long ways away.
Yeah.
It's too long. 48 hours is just too long. I am also just wanting to point out, I really want to see American Fiction as well. Have you seen that movie yet?
We'll talk about
Oh,
it.
sorry.
We'll talk about it.
I've
maybe
only
later
heard
in the
good things.
podcast.
The trailer looks amazing. Like the cast, I hear that Issa's fucking hilarious. Like I just, okay.
Well,
All right, we'll talk about it later.
We'll talk about it together. We'll have a discussion.
We will. Apparently, Ariana Grande is poised to debut at #1 with Yes and but something to note. We love that for her. We do like the song. You can see our reaction. She dropped so many alternate versions of this song.
Mm-hmm.
Like, let me give you the new versions: extended mix, acapella, extended mix, instrumental, sped up, slowed, and it's like. These people were kind of comparing this online. Just like, oh, well, you know, Mariah Carey always did a bunch of remixes back in her day. And it's like, well, no. To quote the Twitter meme.
Wow, that came from your chest.
Because
Mitch.
it's-
well,
No. It's offensive
I
because
mean,
it's
when
like,
you talk about when you're defending Mariah,
you know how I
it.
feel about Mariah Carey's remixes and the fact that Mariah Carey would go in the studio and re-record and reimagine these remixes for like the hip hop version. She's like sampling an entirely new song, re-recording every vocal. Same for the dance mixes. Like it's having different mixes that the artist is in no way involved in. And also that the beat doesn't change. There's no featured person, which by the way, I don't love a remix that's just like a rapper or someone gets featured on the song. But these are just different versions that have nothing to do with the artist and felt a little like we're trying to get this #1. It was aiming for #2 without these new versions. And it's like, do what you got to do if you want to get that #1. But I'm just saying, she did this on top of like lowering the price of these versions to 69 cents. Like she wanted the #1, which we all want #1s. I'm excited that it's going #1.
Which is also advertising for $34.35 to make it 69 cents.
That's the thing. You got to think.
All promotion.
She's playing chess, not checkers.
Taylor Hill.
So I'm excited for her going #1 with this, but let's not compare these new mixes of this song to Mariah Carey's remixes because it's apples and oranges.
Should we do remixes of the Two Gay Mats podcasts? That way our podcast goes #1. We can do a sped up. Could you imagine a sped up?
I know someone who listens to this podcast fed up, and when I met them, and well, not met, but like we hung out in real life, he's like, why are you talking so slowly? Like I hear you at 1.5 speed every week in my ears. It's like, I must sound insane.
Oh my God.
There's no way you could get anything I'm saying, but apparently it works for people.
Yeah. We should invite a rapper.
We should just throw one an extended mix. Ariana also has officially announced that her 7th album is called Eternal Sunshine, which was the rumor I heard, and it is coming out on March 8th. I'm excited for that. I don't know how many tracks it's going to be, but we will be listening to it and reacting to it live on our YouTube channel that night. So if you are around and want to hear our live reaction, just like have a fun listening party. Like those things, we haven't done one in a minute.
Yeah.
But like having those listening parties, I think it's just such a fun way to connect with people. And so I'm excited for the album. There are lots of different covers for Eternal Sunshine. I don't think we've seen all of them even yet.
What's the official one going to be?
I don't know. It might be that half-faced one, the cover of the single.
Oh, so it could just be the cover of the single?
It could be that.
How are we going to decorate the image of the Two Gay Mats YouTube video?
I don't know. We have a couple months to think about it. I think we'll figure it out. And just since we're talking about songs that came out that day, debuting on charts, what number do you think Lil Nas X's J. Christ is predicted to debut?
I saw it was like 72 or 74.
72. It's just like, it's too bad. Like, I'm always going to be rooting for Lil Nas X. He is a very creative and amazing artist. We love queer artists really making a fucking splash. But this wasn't my favorite song of his. I feel like it could end up being like another Ariana song, Focus. Remember that was like the first single off of
Focus.
the Dangerous Woman era, but it didn't really make the album. She kind of reconfigured things and then put out Dangerous Woman as the single and launched the album off of that. I think he's going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit when it comes to the first single off this second record.
Dangerous Woman was a successful album.
Absolutely it was.
So, like, I think Lil Nas X could very much do that. And it's interesting because I guess the problem with Focus was that it was very, very much like recreating Problem.
Yes,
you
exactly.
know? And I feel like this single, J Christ, is like sort of like, okay, we're trying to do this sound from the previous album again.
Yes.
But it's not, the song itself is not as good as those singles off the previous album.
Right. And so, I know he has more great shit in him, and we'll just wait for it. Yeah. And I hope he's not too upset about this.
You know what? I don't have a number 72 song.
That's true. That's true.
He's doing better than me.
That's good. Yeah. See that Madonna is being sued by fans in New York over the late concert start time. Apparently, she's suing she was 2 hours late, more than 2 hours late for a show last month in New York, according to court documents. The show was meant to start at 8:30 Eastern on all 3 nights, but in each case, it did not begin until after 11:30, ending around 1 a.m. And okay, I am of a couple of minds about this. We were talking about this before we started recording the podcast, and someone pointed out like Lauryn Hill is so much more consistently late, and I would imagine even later, and has yet to be sued, and maybe she's gonna see how this suit goes and wants to change her ways maybe in the future. But to me, when I see something on a concert that's like, this is the start time for this show, I don't anticipate the artist is coming on until an hour after. And like, maybe that is wrong of me. 2 hours is like, okay, girl, let's get to it. But like, worth suing her over? It feels like a stretch. It feels like a reach. Like, Madonna has done worse things probably in the past week than starting her concert 2 hours late. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. It seems like maybe we want a little bit of publicity.
Right.
Kind of. I mean, I hear you. I hear that. That's because it feels like publicity, because that is a lot of work.
Yes.
To like sue someone for anything,
and
let alone something as sort of like nebulous as this. I mean, I get it. Like, for example, like if you had like kids and you had to pay for childcare, and like, or like, what if your like babysitter like could only stay a certain number of hours or something, and you had to leave the concert early? You just spent all this money on concert tickets, right? You know. So I get it. I'm not a person who thinks about concerts much, to be honest. I'm not a concert person unless it's the Spice Girls or Carol Channing.
I don't know if you're going to see another Carol Channing concert.
You know what? I won't, but I'm glad I got to see one.
Did you?
Yeah, and I would have waited for 48 hours.
I know you would have.
I would have waited the dreaded number 48.
And it's too long. 48 hours is too long.
It's not too long for Carol Channing, okay?
Even if it's not like a publicity thing, it also could just be like a money thing. Maybe they'll hope that she settles with them and they get a few $1,000s or whatever.
Yeah.
It just feels like a lot. And also, didn't she recently have a very serious health issue that caused her to push this whole concert back? Let's let the woman be. I don't know. She's doing her best. Okay. She's doing her best.
Yeah, I don't really know what to think of it, because it does suck.
It sucks.
It sucks.
But a lot of things suck. You don't sue everything that sucks.
You know? In this world, we're just on Madonna's time.
It's all true. It's true. And we have been since 1981. That's my assumption of when she debuted. Maybe
I'm going to say 82.
Okay, we'll look it up during the break and see who's closer to right. Speaking of women doing their best, Normani has told Deadline that her new album is coming out this year. We were just talking about, again before the podcast, which of us believe in the Beyonce visuals and which of us do not. Matt Steele, do you believe Normani's album is coming out this year? Let's note that her single Motivation, her first solo single, came out in 2019 prior to the COVID-19 pandemic. Do you think this is the year we're going to get a full album from Normani?
I do.
I do too.
I have a good feeling about this.
Call us naive.
And I feel like a year ago, someone asked me, like, do you think like Normani is going to release a new album anytime soon? I was like, no. But I do genuinely think like now is the time that we could be getting an album from Normani.
I think it could happen.
Good for us. And good for her.
And like whether the momentum can be regained, I don't know that.
All I know is our listening party for that is going to be lit. We are going to be having so much fun, even if it's bad.
I think we need to look at how those singles do before we schedule that listening party.
Oh, come on, but this is such a moment of anticipation. It's been building up for practically 48 hours.
True. And that is something that we have wanted for so long. Maybe it'll only be right, because Motivation was such a fucking moment.
It's only right.
It's only right.
Yeah. She'll be in that live stream when we're doing that listening party. She'll be like, guys, I did it.
I did it. You thought it would never happen, and it did. What did you think about I'm Just Ken winning Best Song at the 2024 Critics' Choice Awards?
cute. I will say,
Yes.
that song is I enjoyed the song very much. Like in the
Okay.
movie, it's very fun and everything.
Yes.
I will say, again, if we're talking about like demographics of the voting bodies,
Yes.
that song is very man coded.
I was gonna say.
Men are like, oh my god, so funny. These men are dancing. Out
Your
of
least
control.
favorite thing.
When it's used for comedy and they're just doing dancing and nothing else. But like the song was well done in the movie.
Yes.
But there are many registered like voters in the Critics' Choice Awards.
Yeah.
And many of them are men.
Of course.
Like movie critics, it's very skewed in the male direction.
Yes.
Like, guys love being movie critics.
Yes.
I mean, girls do too, obviously, but like there is definitely an imbalance in terms of like
Absolutely.
that voting body, probably more than any other voting body. I
Right.
don't know the numbers, but like movie critics, it is a very male heavy field.
Right.
So I can understand that song winning.
And What Was I Made For was nominated?
I think so.
Okay.
I don't know if I remember, but I mean, what Was I Made For is the song in a movie this year.
And do you think there's any way it loses at the Oscars?
I mean, I guess anything is possible. I do still see it winning at
You
the Oscars.
think of it as a loss?
I mean, I think that song is just so excellent, and it's really being like publicized now.
It is.
Like the push for that song is really
is.
like going up.
It's
like,
true.
Now that it's Oscar voting time, so I still see that song as being the front runner. What Was I Made For? Instead of I'm Just Ken.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm hopeful. And it's like, I don't dislike I'm Just Ken. I'm glad it exists. But like, I want, as much as I was annoyed by Billy. Oh, sorry. Is your mic falling?
It is. It's fine.
As
Tighten
much
it up.
as I was annoyed by Billy winning everything back in the day, like at the Grammys when she won all 4 major categories, I want this song to win every single award
Well,
it's
'cause
nominated
it's one
for.
of her best songs.
It is
Like,
so
it's
excellent.
great.
And I've heard people being like, oh, it's time for like an up-tempo, something that's not that serious to win. It's like, you can have that when there's a song when there's a year that there's not a song this strong.
Sure.
That is a ballad and it's sad.
And
or
the
whatever.
way that song is used in the movie is
It's
so
beyond.
beautiful,
Beyond.
and just like is the heart of Barbie.
I agree.
So
Apparently, everyone's new favorite show is The Traitors. US season 2 has killed it in the ratings. It is Peacock's most watched reality premiere, up 75% from season 1.
Damn.
It is the Emmy Award winning reality show. The Traitors debuted its 2nd season last week, which has become Peacock's most watched reality premiere, beating out The Real Housewives of Miami Revival, Ultimate Girls Trip, Harrison Love, Love Island US, and whatever else is there. 75% jump in viewership. I just am so happy. It feels like everyone is talking about The Traitors. And
Sure.
I feel like there are Survivor fans out there. There are Big Brother fans out there. There are Housewives fans out there who are now tuning into the show to watch their favorites really be in a very fun competition reality show. And I know you've had problems with the game so far, but I was happy to hear that this was your favorite week of the show so far.
it was the episode 4 of season 2 was an excellent episode. I still have it's more so just I have an issue with like the actual game
Yes.
of the show. I don't
Yes.
know if it lends itself well to television, but the entertainment value of the people, especially
Yes.
of this season, is very good.
And it's just like Phaedra.
Oh, sure.
She's
I can't wait to see her give it to Parvati and Dan. But the thing is, like, Parvati will give her my peace of mind too. So I'm excited to see those two go at it.
I
and
mean,
have Dan just like watch it all
the
happen.
thing is, the episode before I was like, oh, Dan's fucked.
Oh,
And
never
the
count
way
Dan out.
he turned that shit around.
There are so many people. I mean, like, spoiler alert, whatever.
Yeah, spoiler alert, absolutely.
But there are so many people who are just like, Sandra absolutely knows Parvati is a traitor. Janelle absolutely knows Dan is a traitor. And they're just not saying
Why
it
aren't
now.
they getting them out then?
Because they're just like, because they know that Janelle probably knows that Dan is keeping her safe for now.
right.
Sandra probably knows Parvati's keeping me safe for now.
Right.
So, and that's an interesting theory. I wonder what the truth is.
And Sandra's flip at the round table was like, oh shit.
Oh,
You
sure.
are.
Oh, well, Sandra's great. The great thing about Sandra is she's not this like master manipulator,
Right.
like a strategist like person.
Yes.
Her gameplay is literally just like, girl, anyone but me. I don't give a fuck. Anybody but me. And so she is just a survivor.
Wow.
I mean, she's won Survivor twice. She's like the survivor.
Right.
And so that is what is so much fun about Sandra. And she's so real.
Right.
Oh,
and you
she's
know,
great.
I've always been like, don't watch out for the Housewives. Watch out for the Housewives. Some of them are going to be very good at this. Mostly Phaedra. Phaedra is the perfect person for this show. But I will say, ladies, you got to work on how you're voting at that round table. Some of those votes, I'm like, what are you doing? Like Sheree. And then my favorite thing is that Sheree goes out of her way to not vote the person that like everyone's voting for just because she believes it's a faithful or for whatever reason. And as soon as they're like, I'm a faithful, Sheree's like, I'm upset. It's like, what did you say? What did you do? It just was wild. The show is excellent. And I'm so glad it's such a hit. And I mean, if this podcast becomes a Traitors recap podcast, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate it. So everyone stay tuned, see how much more we're going to talk about this. I'm trying to look at the other things I have to talk about are a little depressing. So I'm going to skip a couple of it. Just like the state of journalism and like what's going on with Pitchfork. Sports Illustrated even was very upsetting to me this week. I feel like music criticism needs to be given its weight, its flowers, as much as like we do our little critiques. What they do is different and artistic and very necessary for art to be as good as it is. Like people coming for critics, it's like they're just people who couldn't be, actors or directors or musicians themselves. It's like, no, this is cultural criticism is very necessary.
Yes. And
we need to treat it like a necessary part of life. And like these jobs are worth things. You can't just like fold them out of the workforce because, it just bothers.
Well, and I feel like even if I don't agree with a criticism or something like that, like even like a criticism I disagree with, listening to it actively makes me think about art in a different way. Like, oh, maybe I could be looking out for this, or it influences like how I create my art, you know? So even if it's something I don't agree with. So it's very, very necessary. I mean, like we do it ourselves.
Right. But I just, for the journalists who are critics who probably feel a little nervous, just know our hearts go out to you and we believe in your capabilities. You'll land on your feet, but it's just sad headlines around that. I do want to talk about Jennifer Lopez. So she is premiering, I assume, a visual album.
Speaking of making art, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, she is premiering This Is Me Now, a love story, and the trailer has come out on Prime Video. And it says it's from the heart and soul and dreams of Jennifer Lopez. It's being released on February 16th. Apparently, it is a musical film based off her new album, This Is Me Now, which is a part 2 of This Is Me Then, which came out in like 2002 or whatever. It's directed with Dave Meyers, and Jennifer has created, quote unquote, a narrative-driven cinematic odyssey steeped in mythological storytelling and personal healing. And from the trailer, it looks like it is a mix of her real life, of like the men she's dated and how they came across, and also people thinking that she's a sex addict. I don't know if she's a spy. Like, it's all very confusing. I will say visually and like story-wise, I'm like, this is a little bit fun if it weren't for the music, which sounds, what is it? Dreadful. It sounds, every song that popped up sounded worse than the last. And I'm like, J-Lo,
maybe they have great bridges.
I won't make it to them. I will not make it through those verses.
Oh, come on. You won't be sad for this.
I'll start it. I can't promise I'll finish it.
I'm going to sit there. I'll be at the movie theater.
It's not going to be at a damn movie theater. This is on Amazon Prime.
Oh, I thought it was going to have like a theatrical release. And so I was like, oh, this is nuts.
No.
Oh, that's such a bummer. Guys, it looks like a mix between like a rom-com meets like a sexy action thriller meets Dancer in the Dark
meets a video game
meets like Lord of the Rings. Like it's giving you everything. If you have not seen the trailer yet, do yourself a favor and you'll just be like, you know what? She did it.
She did.
She did that. And so I'm excited to check it out.
I'm excited for you and for everyone that will see it. I will start it.
Okay.
I don't anticipate finishing it. You never know. I'm sad Rap Shit got canceled at Max. I had not been on board with season 2, but I'm sure I'll watch it now that it's all over. But I'm just sad because Issa Rae's a genius and the people that worked on that show are incredible. And I'm sad to see it go. And I never watched And Just Like That, but apparently Che Diaz has been let go. The actress Sarah Ramirez. They are not coming back to the show. Their time is over. They made a post on Instagram about actors being blacklisted for supporting Palestine, and a source says that Sarah was not fired because they support Palestine and the ceasefire. Sarah was fired because Che brought nothing to the show anymore. They were on the chopping block since last season, and then apparently Che has split with Miranda. The character didn't have value. The audience didn't love the character. So I think viewers of the show are probably a little happy because they did get a lot of flack. The character, not really Sarah Ramirez, the actor.
I've never seen. Well, Sarah Ramirez is iconic.
Yes.
Like Spamalot Tony Award winner, amazing vocals. I've never seen people hate a character more.
It's really shocking.
Where it's just like, guys, it's not that deep.
And
like it's literally just a supporting character on a reboot of a show. Like it's gonna be fine.
And it's one of those things where it's almost like there was so much press around how much
Yeah,
people hated
like,
Che Diaz, or you're like,
fine.
I wonder if they'll keep them on, because it's like, wow, I mean, people are talking about it. This is a water cooler moment, but I guess that's not the case. I think it also was noted somewhere that, oh gosh, what's the actress that plays Miranda?
Cynthia Nixon.
Cynthia Nixon is very pro-Palestine vocally, very pro-ceasefire, and is still going to be on that show. So I don't know if Sarah's claims have weight, but Che Diaz is gone for now.
You know what? But you know what? We can always return.
You never know. You never know.
Che Diaz is lingering and ready to make a grand entrance again.
Absolutely. So, Matt Steele.
Yes.
Do you have any other news for idiots that you'd want to share with the people?
I don't think so, guys.
Well, then we're going to take a quick break and then be back with more 2Gay Mats, the podcast.
Yes.
Bye, Che Diaz.
Bye. Goodbye.
I still laugh at Comedy Concert. Comedy Concert is funny.
What's Comedy Concert?
That's what they would refer to as like a stand-up show. It's like,
Okay.
oh, I'm having a comedy concert.
That's cute.
Yes.
Why do people hate Che Diaz so much?
I think they're just annoying.
Well,
Like, I think the
so-
character
I mean-
is unpleasant, annoying. And I also think there's a complaint on that show where, like, Sex and the City is about these 4 women and their stories, and they've
And there's
added
too many
so many
supporting,
characters.
yeah.
And so if someone is, like, taking up space and is really bothersome to the viewer, maybe it's time.
I don't know. My philosophy in a show, it's like if people are annoyed with a character and like they're the character that's creating the most online discourse, like that's online discourse that's like kind of harmless.
Right.
Like keep that character on the show.
Of course, because
it
you
gets
want
people
to
talking.
keep Monica on Salt Lake City, so this all tracks.
So, I don't know.
Who I mean, I do think she's going to come back. I think it's good that she comes back, but it would be weird if you were one of those cast members. That's all I'm saying.
Sure.
Be weird. So how's everybody feeling?
We good?
Dude, I know we didn't have a lot to talk about, but hey, we got to talk about J-Lo's weird trailer. And I feel like that was probably exciting for people.
When does it come out? Do you know?
Matt S., you don't ever watch TV. That's funny. Hey, you watch Big Brother, Traitors now, and
Old seasons of Survivor.
old seasons of Survivor, and also the Scientology lady show.
The Scientology lady show.
Yeah, the girl who's on Peggy from Mad Men. The Handmaid's Tale.
Oh, The Handmaid's Tale.
Yes.
And clips from The View.
Oh, right. You don't even watch the full episodes.
No. That comes on. I'm just getting out of bed. I'm just like, so I wait for the clips to come up on YouTube, and I do my little push-ups as I'm doing it, as Joy Behar is just giving her opinions.
I think the show came out during peak nostalgia era, and a new character had to be incredible to be welcome. And there are several new characters.
Sure.
Did you tighten this?
I did, but she's not giving it to me.
You have to tighten it more.
I did. It was hard. I think it's this one maybe.
Oh.
Then I don't know.
I don't think it's that one, because that would like slide it back and forth.
Okay, this feels good.
That feels good. It
Yeah.
feels sturdy.
Feels good. Feels like a big strong man.
I'm excited to see the J-Lo thing, whatever it is. I mean, the best I can think is visual album. J-Lo's movie comes on Prime February 16th.
All right.
Yeah, that's definitely not going to theaters.
I totally thought it was going to theaters.
No
That's why I was just
way.
like, oh my
There's
god.
no way.
I was like, wow, she did it before Beyonce.
Could you
They're
imagine,
creating a narrative
like-
film album?
No, who would go see that? No way. Traders UK season 2 started too, so I started watching that. Great. I'm like, maybe after this season of the Traders, that's what I'll do. I'll go and watch the international editions. You never know.
I mean, yeah.
I do like it. Did it start in the UK? Did it start in Australia?
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know either.
I still have issues with the actual game, guys. It's still a little just like those traders are just set up to win. They're just set up to win.
Hey, but if that means Phaedra wins, I'm excited.
Unless she gets like banished. Unless they discover her. I mean, like Parvati was very much just like, if we let people know like it has to be one of the housewives, they could just keep banishing housewives until they get a traitor. Because like logically, you're just like, it has to be a housewife.
But I mean,
Like there's so many housewives there. And
logically, you'd think it could be people from the
Survivor
company.
and Big
Survivor
Brother.
and Big
Yeah.
Brother too.
But I feel like, I don't know. I feel like that's sort of a more interesting group to target.
The housewives.
Yeah.
I don't know. There's also just so many of them that they won't vote for each other.
And they also know that like this is an alliance. So like even if we don't get a traitor,
we can weaken their alliance.
yeah.
I do wonder how that conversation is going to shake out now that Phaedra's really said her piece.
Yeah. But I mean, Parvati can give it back too. She's great. Parvati is great.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I'm mad at Parvati.
I don't know who I would have voted for in Heroes versus Villains, Sandra versus Parvati, because that was the final.
Oh, was it?
It was a final 3, but Russell wasn't winning. So it was like essentially Parvati versus Sandra, and Sandra won. So I don't know who I would have given my vote.
Why did the jury vote for Sandra over Parvati?
They were a little bitter at Parvati. But she played a damn good game.
Because she's like a backstabber, right? Like that's her.
The thing is, like, yeah,
Okay.
but she also she's like such a charmer. And the thing was, like, she aligned with Russell that season, who was very much the villain, the backstabber,
really?
the asshole.
Was Russell the
and so
guy who
people were
first
kind
won?
of just mad at, he's never won.
Oh, okay.
And so people were very angry at Russell, and since Parvati and him were like aligned so closely and they worked together that season, they were just like, well, fuck Parvati too.
Yes. Grace, Salt Lake had the scam artist, the stalker, and the person who married their grandpa. That's all true. The scam artist isn't on the show anymore because she's in jail. I blame this podcast for me knowing this. It's good. I'm glad that you know.
Yeah, Prize of Fame, the Russell connection tainted Parvati with the all heroes jury, because the people on the jury were like all on the heroes team, or not all, but like mostly on the heroes team. And Sandra's hero versus villains win isn't good though. Well, you know my thoughts that Lil was robbed on Pearl Islands too. So, and I do love Sandra, but I have to say.
So you never think that she should have won?
I think her heroes versus villain win is a good fun win. I don't know who I would have voted, because she was able to stay out of the fray in Heroes versus Villains like really well. So
girl, you and Lil.
Lil's a queen.
James Zach Johnston asked, have we talked about the Lions winning today yet? Is that I think that's a football.
We like animals.
We love animals. Hey, I have a jackalope
Look at
here.
the jackalope. We love animals on TV.
Oh, is that versus Taylor Swift's boyfriend's team? Is that why it's coming up here?
They're the Chiefs.
The Chiefs. Gonna see Lions versus Chiefs.
Okay, I didn't know there was a football team called the Lions.
I think that makes sense.
I've never heard of that team. I hope they win though, because I always like it when like teams that I have never heard before go to the Super Bowl. Like I need like, okay, the Lions, if that's a team. I need like the Browns, the Texans. Like when was the last time you heard of the Texans going to the Super Bowl?
The Texans are a football team?
Yep.
Oh, did not know that.
Hey.
Did not know that.
Faithfuls always come up with the dumbest reactions to vote people off. It's like they've never played Town of Salem or Mafia or Among Us. I mean,
I will say I would have a hard time.
I mean,
too,
that's the problem with the game for me. Like as a show, is like they're not given any clues as to who a traitor is. They're literally just picking a name out of random and being like, hope it's them. So like, and also they have double the chance of getting eliminated for a random reason. Like they can be banished for no reason, and also they can be killed for no reason.
Right.
Whereas the traitors, they're only at risk like half the time, so it's producers can pick who they want to win essentially.
My whole thing is like, if somehow the Faithfuls were really good at it, they would just keep recruiting traitors, because it's like, we're not shortening the season. Like we're having 10 episodes of this show. So even if the Faithfuls are amazing and get all 3 traitors out immediately, they're not going to stop the show and be like, okay, you're right, you guys all split the money.
And that's the thing, like when all the traitors are gone, or if we're just down to 1 traitor left, then like the show has to keep recruiting traitors so that there's a traitor at the end. The only way a Faithful can win is if they get traitors out at the last round.
Moment. It's true.
So like, what am I watching? But the last episode was great.
It was great. It was great.
That's true, but they're starting to add clues like with the latest episode.
I guess there were some clues kind of.
What was the clue with the last?
Well, kind of with the funeral stuff, or like it was like.
But that was clues as to who was killed.
But also making Parvati do that chalice thing.
Yeah,
it's like
that's
if they
true.
it's like who got poisoned.
But then when the girl who died, like she had no way to say like, oh well, chalice was given to me by Parvati. They just closed the coffin, which was great. A great TV moment.
But they were like talking about like, oh well, who? Like, did someone drink something weird? Did someone eat something weird? And Trishelle almost got it. It's like someone was over here with something in their hand. And I forget who it was. It was like, Trishelle, you're gonna kick off fucking peppermint. Spoiler.
I guess, but like they all have cups in their hands. I don't know.
They could have tried more. They flopped on that, I will say. Yeah, the chalice.
The chalice.
I thought you go Lions. Dude. Oh, Lindsay likes the Lions, but Grace thought that she was from Wisconsin.
Where are the Lions from?
Detroit, it seems.
Detroit. Okay. We love automobiles and Motown.
Fairly sure that both the Lions and the Texans have never been to a Super Bowl.
Well, Lions versus Texans. Let's go.
My husband's from Detroit, and I'm one of those I just want everyone to have a good time fans. Hey, that's how I'm a fan of the Dodgers. Jackson's a big Dodger fan. So I'm like, yeah, go
good
Dodgers.
for you. Good for you.
But I did, the Braves were big in Atlanta when I was growing up. They were always in the World Series.
The World Cup.
I was like, not World Cup.
The World Olympics.
World
Series. And you're very brave for, not still like standing them.
I know. Before I was just like, oh, Braves. I was always doing that tomahawk chalk.
Oh, yeah.
Not offensive at all. I can't believe they still do it.
I have footage of you doing it.
You don't.
I'm going to leak it.
You literally don't.
I'm going to leak it.
Y'all have poisons and coffins in your version. What kind of Clue board game? We do.
I liked the challenge this week. The reason why I think the episode was very good was because the challenge was connected to the murder. Like it was like they had to figure out who got murdered through the challenge, as opposed to it being like you find out who got murdered and then here's this like random challenge where you're doing some nebulous thing.
But they're trying to get money in the pot.
Yeah, but like the challenge is like never connected to the actual murder. Like the challenges to me are always so boring. So
I'd rather watch this than Big Brother any day of the fucking week.
But the thing is, Big Brother, all the nitty gritty details of like what's happening on the feed. So there's more depth to Big Brother. And there's like reasons for doing things on Big Brother. Like there's reasons why people are voting the way they're voting or something like that. This is just like, you acted weird that one day. Matt Steele, last season they had clues too with that ghost room where ghosts were giving clues to the traitors.
I don't remember that.
I remember a ghost room, but I don't remember.
Jeff Stanley Cup. Alan Cumming needs an award. His monologues are everything. That's true. I want Alan
He is
Cumming.
a very good host.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I hope he hosts the reunion this year. Or I hope Andy Cohen comes a little bit more prepared. I kind of feel like sometimes Andy comes to non-Housewives reunions and it's like, babe, did you watch this season? But I think now that Traitors has become such a big thing, I think he will have.
Sure. And he knows like, I want this gig more.
Yeah, and people care.
Yeah.
We really care. I do wonder, Tamra Judge, one of the Housewives of Orange County who's on Traitors, was like, now that Traitors is such a big hit, do you think Bravo is going to come up with like a Bravo Celebrities only kind of competition game show? And I'm like,
so hilarious.
I would love it. I'd watch.
Ridiculous.
I would love it. I would love it.
Did you guys watch The Bear? I have.
Yes, I watched The Bear.
Oh, you did? I forgot you did.
It's good.
Did you laugh?
The second season I laughed. First season I did not. First season is intense, but I enjoy it.
It was when they had to find what went missing from the room. I remember that competition.
I don't remember that giving clues to the traitors.
I don't remember the clues.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have the email ready?
Yeah. We got an email, guys.
Yeah.
It's really cool.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have a great answer for it, but we did get an email.
Down.
I can't believe you don't like Defying Gravity.
I never said those
That's
words.
what I heard. That's the rumor going around.
I never said those words.
That's just what I heard.
Don't spread rumors about that. This is going on the internet.
This is going to be us at the round table.
That's ridiculous.
He doesn't even like Defying Gravity.
The Wizard and I is just better.
Wizard and I is great.
Wizard and I is great. Okay, let's go.
You ready?
Guys, we took a 48-hour break.
It was so long.
And it was so long. I feel like I'm a completely different person.
Yes.
But Matt Palmer, you still remember what to tell the people.
I do. And I want to tell the people, thank you so much for listening and or watching the podcast. It means so much to us. And if you want to make sure more people listen to or watch the podcast like we do, go to your Spotify or your Apple Podcasts and leave us a 5-star review. We, of course, only accept 5-star reviews. It helps us so much in both of those algorithms. And if you really, really love us, go to patreon.com/2gaymats. And for as little as $5 a month, you can become a patron and get extra bonus content. Like I was just saying, that we recorded a video of Matt Steele reacting to 3 of my favorite Victoria Monet songs from Jaguar 2. It's going to come up this week. It will be lovely, and you can join the Discord, meet a lot of great friends that you just haven't met yet. And for our live show that's going to be happening this year, you'll be the first to get tickets. That link to the tickets are going to our patrons first. So if you want to be first in line to get tickets, just in case it sells out, become a patron. Go to patreon.com/2gaymats.
Yeah, it's going to be thrilling, guys.
Yes.
But first, we are going to get through Email My Heart, which is the section of the podcast where we answer any questions that you guys might have. You can be a part of Email My Heart if you email us at 2gaymats@gmail.com. 2 is spelled TWO.
Yes.
This is from Mars.
Hi, Mars.
Mars, question. Film industry advice. This is for Matt Palmer.
Me.
It's for both of us,
Okay.
but you know. It says, "Hey Matt, apologies in advance for the long email. My name is Mars and I'm about to graduate from college. Fingers crossed this pneumonia doesn't get me off track." You're going to graduate, Mars.
You are.
Don't
I'm
worry.
sorry about the pneumonia.
I
Oh
know.
my goodness.
You know what? You're strong. You can do it. I'm graduating with a degree in film, and me and a few friends are setting up a production company, got the LLC and everything, but are not sure where to go. Unfortunately, we're a bunch of queers, specifically trans, living in a conservative state, so we're not planning on staying here, but we're heavily debating where to go. California is the obvious answer, but we feel it'll be difficult to break in as another company. Other options are New York, New Jersey, maybe Washington or Oregon, but it's also scary. We're also trying to figure out the best way to break into the industry. We have big plans for the future, but the steps in between are fuzzy. I've suggested producing music videos for bands in town, and we keep chugging along trying to get our shorts in festivals, but wanted to know if you had other advice. I also wanted to know, as two people with industry experience, Matt S. with movies, Matt Palmer with music videos, if there are any little perks or techniques that you've seen that you think should be normalized, or if there are any standards in the industry we should avoid doing. I've been a fan since 2018. Y'all were a welcome companion when I was trying to do all my homeschool work, and I'm so grateful to you and excited to see what you do. And if you ever need an AD, line producer, set director, or script supervisor, hit me up. Winky face. Thank you so much. Love, Mars.
I'll go short because I feel like mine will be shorter than yours.
Okay, well, what are the things you look for in a music video? Maybe?
All that I can say is the reason that, like, the best times I've had on music video sets, which are generally most of the times because we worked with Ryan Bartley, he always gets the best fucking crew the entire time, top to bottom. Like, having good people on set and kind people on set, like working towards a common goal, makes everything better. Like, it's kind of logical. You want to work with people who are good and kind and hardworking, but also you can like have fun with, and like no one's, I don't know. I feel like there's a lot of, there's the possibility for a set to be very tense if people are taking what they're doing very seriously, and if people get like, emotions are high. And so to have someone who's a calming presence and to have the team feel like a team is something that I really appreciate. And I imagine in other sets is an asset as well, because I can think of nothing worse than being on set, because you have to be on for, even for music videos that are like, what, 4 or 5 minutes, you have to be on set for days at a time. And if I was around people in which it was like tense, or like people were unhappy and people were screaming or locking themselves in dressing rooms and things, it would just be so unpleasant. So making, as someone who's usually just the talent, making the set as pleasant and like low stakes, not in that like you don't want to try and produce the best product, but it's just like, we all know we're not performing heart surgery. Let's all do our best and like keep the set calm and positive is the best way to be. So.
And I think that you are already kind of like taking those steps into making sure it's like a positive set, because you have like, you're doing it with your friends.
Yeah.
You're doing it with people who you have the shorthand language, like you know how to communicate with them. You know like what you all have the same goal. Like you know how to talk to these people.
Yeah.
You know, you love them, you care about them. And so I think that's really wonderful. It's wonderful that you are right out the gate before you even graduate, just getting that LLC.
Totally.
Like I think you're doing everything right as far as that goes. Just like make shit.
Yeah.
And you know what? Some of it might be bad, but like, especially like when you're young, because when you're, you know, younger, fresh out of college, like it's so great making stuff because you're interacting more with people who just want to, you know, make stuff at this point and like get better and hone their craft and build a name for themselves and everything. Because the older you get, the harder it is to like find people who are that hungry, who are willing to do stuff for like free or cheap, you know, because you will be interacting with older people who it's like, it gets very expensive. So the fact that you're all like sort of like equal peers right now in the same boat, like freshly graduated and everything, you're all hungry for that to like help each other out. And as far as music video goes, Matt Palmer always tells me, outfit changes. Makes your music video look more expensive.
It does.
And also like it seems like you do, you know, set decorating and production design, Mars. Honestly, like if what is in the shot looks good, the music video is gonna look good.
Absolutely.
Or like whatever you're making looks good. Like it's someone, because the director of Matt Palmer's music videos and like the director of Devo's, like his background is in, you know, art direction and production design. And so the movie, like Devo's and the music videos, like they look so much more expensive than they actually were.
Absolutely.
Because he had such a good eye for making what was in the frame look really great. So if you do love doing art, direction and stuff like that, really like it's a great like craft to hone if you want your material to look really great. In terms of like where to go, I think you have a little bit of time to decide that, especially if you all want to like go as a group, you know. And it also depends on the stuff you want to make. I think starting off with music videos is an excellent thing to do, and you know, there's always bands that are hungry for that. But you know, if you want to get into more like indie film, like feature film and stuff, you could really be anywhere. And there's like a market for that. If you want to do more commercial stuff, there is, you know, the LA. If you wanted, I would say like if you want to get more into like TV, LA is probably the best route to go, unless it's sort of like the edgier, grittier TV. Then maybe that's New York. If you want to get into, you know, like Atlanta, it has a big market, but a lot of it is very like Marvel stuff is filmed in Atlanta. Like the Tyler Perry stuff is filmed in Atlanta. So that's for like, if you're interested in that market. San Francisco is like the tech market. So a lot of that film stuff is a lot of like tech stuff, promotional stuff like that. I don't think you need to rush this. And I mean, there's nothing wrong with just being like, I'm going to jump into the big sea of Los Angeles. If you want to do that.
Yeah.
And there's also nothing wrong with like holding back, trying to figure out where the best place to go is.
Totally.
The great thing is that you have a good community that you are working with. Hold on to those connections for the rest of your life. Like hold on to them forever, because those are the people you will be leaning on until the end of time.
All right. Yeah. I think Mars will do it.
Yeah. You're doing fine.
You're doing great.
The pneumonia is going to be cleared up.
Absolutely.
And you will get that degree.
Yes.
It's going to be great. Yeah.
It's all going to happen for you.
Yeah. So that is the email of the week.
Okay, great. I have a kind of a mix of a 2 Gay Minutes and a Giving Me Moments.
Okay.
It's up to you if you want to time it or not. I probably won't go on for so long, but I just want to talk a little bit about Drag Race this year.
Okay. All right, I'll time it. Do you want me to time it just to see how long you go?
Sure, that'll be fun.
And I'll give you all a number. I don't know what purpose that serves, but guys, this is 2 Gay Minutes. This is the section of the podcast where one Matt rambles on about something the other Matt doesn't give a shit about for about 2 minutes, and we see where it goes. This is also Giving Me Moments, I guess, where
it's a little bit of both.
We talk about the content that we have consumed for the week that really gave us a lot of excitement.
Yes.
So, Matt Palmer, I guess your kind of sort of 2 Gay Minutes / Giving Me Moments begins now.
Okay. I just want to say I am enjoying season 16 of Drag Race. The queens are growing on me by the episode. I'm really loving. Dawn is a favorite of mine, as is Saphira, who's the incredible queen who could like sing opera in her talent show. And then this week, spoiler, the winner was Nymphia Wind, who like is just an incredible fashion designer. Like it was like, oh, we're doing a ball and you have to make one of the outfits. Here's a bunch of menswear scraps. Make something incredible out of it. And her look was truly unbelievable. Isaac Mizrahi was the guest judge, and he was like, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. Like, Nymphia took all these ties, and just, it's truly a piece of art. If you just want to Google search what Nymphia Wind did on this week of Drag Race, I would recommend you do it. I was sad, the girl who went home this week, I can see why she went home, but she was very bubbly and very lovely in her confessionals, especially. I thought her drag was just a little different than like the, you know, very elevated drag that a lot of the queens are doing, and what gets, catches Rue's eye. And there's a lot of great stuff happening on Drag Race. I'm excited to continue watching it. We need to talk about Plain Jane. Plain Jane is this queen whose whole thing is, I am going to be very rude in confessionals and like come for the girls. And like every time she walks in, it's like, oh, I guess this is the B team, blah, blah, blah. Which is like, of course, it's Drag Race. There's going to be shade. People are going to like say rude things, but they are kind of said with love. This girl is just a fucking bitch. Like, and I'm a person who watches Housewives, watches Vanderpump Rules, the cast of the worst people in Los Angeles, and loves every second. If your whole thing is like, I'm going to be the villain of the season, I'm going to be such a bitch, you have to have a quickness to you. You have to have a little bit of comedy chops, or even like if you're giving critiques with love, like in the Untucked episode, Dawn was talking to, I believe, Plasma, and Plasma had one look that was like Tweedledee and Tweedledum, and it was a little weird, and she was like a little tipsy, and she was like, girl, I love you. I have to say, I fucking hated that look. And like people were like, oh my God, me too, and they kind of laughed, but it was fine. It was funny. Plain Jane in every fucking confessional is just like, she looks a mess. She's ugly. She's so talentless. I'm so much hotter than them. And it's like, okay, none of this is funny. None of this is interesting. Your looks aren't that great. Like, yes, you won last week with like dumb comedy, but like this week you were very much in the middle, and like you can't be sitting down. So she sat down this girl a mandatory meeting, which by the way is the funniest fucking drag name I've heard in so long.
Oh, that's so
it's
funny.
so funny.
I just got
and
it.
A mandatory meeting, like admittedly the week prior had really not great makeup. She has since in the like it was a split premiere, so only half the queens were on one episode and the other half of the queens were in the next. And in that week of time or however long it took for them to film, one of her castmates was like, you need to just work on your makeup all week and like continue doing your face until it gets better. And it was much better this week. She was in the middle right along with Plain Jane. And during Untucked, like backstage, Plain Jane sits her down and it's like, by the way, I just like, after they kind of are laughing about not liking Plasma's look or whatever, in a very loving way, she sits down and it's like, by the way, I just have to tell you, and this is probably the second time they've interacted, you're really currently not doing it for me looks wise. And she kind of like half smiles and everyone's like, whoa, this is out of nowhere. There's no comedy. There's nothing shady. It's just like you being a bitch to this girl's face who's like, I'm trying. And then someone was like, oh, I didn't realize it was Plain Jane's Drag Race. And she's like, well, it's not, but like, we're voting on each other. So I just thought you should know that like, I hope that you can change my opinion and like sway how I feel about you. And a mandatory meeting's like, I don't care if you like me. And in the confessionals, she's like, this girl can eat my ass. Like nothing she's saying is, so everything funny is coming from her. And everyone's like, I have something to say. Amanda, you are so fucking nice and such a great person and took feedback really well. And it's like, we're all in the middle here. Why you feel the need to go out of your way to like just be an asshole to people is not funny, is not cute. And there are people online who are like, well, you guys just want Drag Race to be like, kumbaya, like older seasons, you couldn't take it. And it's like, I haven't seen every season, that's true. But if you're going to be the villain, you have to have wordplay. You have to be fucking funny. You have to have something that's based in love and not just you being cruel to someone for no reason. Mm-hmm. And so I'm not enjoying this person at all. I'd like her to get kicked off. It's just like, you're not fun. You're not good at reality TV and you're not good enough at drag to be talking to people like this. And it's just like, it's just cruel in my humble opinion.
It's a cruel summer, guys.
It's a cruel summer.
That was 4 minutes and 35 seconds.
Thank you so much.
I let you go on because I was enjoying it so much.
My heart will go on. And fuck Plain Jane.
Yeah, it just sounds like she sounds kind of sour.
It's sour. It's like,
sour.
And not the good kind of sour like Olivia Rodrigo.
Yeah.
Just like spoiled milk.
The sour B-sides. Which like those are probably great too.
I know, I'm sure they are. She's a talent.
Yeah.
So Matt Steele.
Yes.
What has been giving you moments this week?
So I already told everyone what my giving me moments this week was going to be. I went and yesterday I saw the movie American Fiction yesterday with my little AMC A-list membership. And I was supposed to see it last week, like in the morning, but then I overslept. And I'm so happy I finally got to see it this week. It is excellent.
Really?
It is such a good film. The thing is, like, when you see the trailer, you're just like, for those of you who don't know, it's starring Jeffrey Wright, and he plays this black writer who none of his like books aren't selling well because like they're very like haughty and like it's prestigious and
right.
And he doesn't write. He tries to like not write like from the black experience. Like he doesn't try to like implement that in his writing and everything because he's like, we're so much more than just blah blah blah. And so the trailer shows him like watching Issa Rae being a really successful writer, and her book is doing really well, and she's this like super like college like educated woman, and they're like, please let us read an excerpt from your book, and she reads this book that is just like this giant like what could be perceived as like a giant stereotypical like ridiculous like what he perceives as like this trashy like literature and everything that's just selling for like white audiences,
right.
And that like the white audiences are just like eating it up because they feel like they're like being such saviors and like supporting this material when he considers this material such trash and everything. And so the trailer shows that he's like, I'm gonna write a book for fun that's just like these books and everything. And he doesn't and he just like his agent, he's like, he sends it to his agent and he's just like, yo, try to sell this book. And the agent's just like, oh, we sold it and like you're gonna get $1 trillion. And so you go into it thinking like, just knowing like, oh, this is going to be really good satire and everything. What I wasn't expecting was a truly phenomenal family drama.
Oh.
Like the family drama aspect was just as important as the book aspect, the satire aspect, the literature aspect, and the commentary of that. And because what he's also dealing with is he is going back home to Boston, and he, his sister lives in Boston, and she kind of takes care of their aging mother. He comes from a very wealthy family. And his brother is out of the picture. His brother is played by Sterling K. Brown, and he's like a recently out guy going through a divorce and everything. So he's living his best gay life and everything.
Right.
And the sister is the only one who is taking care of the mother, who, spoilers, the mother is not doing well. At one point, it's established that she is in decline. And some other things happen that I won't get into because those are like big spoilers.
Right.
But now they essentially have to take care of the mother. And, but he's not close with the family. And it's so much having to do with the family and the book at the same time. And the interesting thing I found with it is the like fake book that he writes very much has this family drama of like the father's not in the picture and like the gangs and like just like a not tight like family thing.
Yeah.
And the entire movie is just like, oh God, these dramas and these melodramas in these books that actually sell, like I can't relate to them. But he grew up in a very wealthy family and everything. But yet, as the movie goes on, you realize like he is relating to these dramas that he says he can't relate to, because like he is not close with his family. He is essentially kind of, the father in this very rich family is not in the picture for reasons that I won't get into because that's a spoiler, but also he is kind of like this, the stereotypical like estranged father, not taking care of his family responsibilities because he's not close with his family for a very different reason, because the family is so wealthy and there is like such a coldness to them. So so like he is like subconsciously like relating to these stories that he's like making fun of the entire time. It's so smart, so well done. And it really shows that there's like no like right or wrong answer to any of this. But like, it's just such a wonderful commentary. And really, really funny in the meantime. And Jeffrey Wright is so hot.
Wait, okay. That was love field.
I mean, I'm just going to say it. Jeffrey Wright is very hot.
Okay.
And it's really, really great. I could absolutely see it like surprising and winning Best Adapted Screenplay.
Wow.
Like at the Oscars. And especially the audiences I was with. I went, a Saturday matinee, so it was more full than I'm used to. The audience was eating it up.
Really?
So I totally see like the Academy like members, especially that demographic, like, it's a more middle-aged demographic. Like they were eating up this movie. And so I really see it like getting a good amount of Oscar nominations. And the funny thing about this movie is like the whole movie, the entire time, it's making fun of like white audiences, like being like, wow, oh, wow, so deep. It's so, the representation. Oh, these voices need to be heard. Yes, we're doing so much and everything. I was in a theater with mostly white people. Next to me were these guys, like these like young guys in their early 20s. One of them brought his dog.
Oh, to the theater?
The movie theater.
That's
I know.
A shock.
I didn't realize
That's
it until as we were leaving. I was like, motherfucker, did you bring your dog?
At least the dog was quiet.
The dog was quiet, so good for that dog.
Right.
But then at the end of the movie, when it was over, I will say like 3 out of the 4 of those guys in unison went, wow. I was just like,
great.
I was like, okay, so like, I find this ironic that these like white guys are like being the same characters as like the white people in the movie.
Right.
Like, wow. I just found that very funny.
That is funny.
It really is a fantastic movie. A movie that like is really like touching, but like sort of at the same time, like doesn't take itself too seriously.
Right.
Like it's a wonderful satire and family drama, which like I'm all about. It's really, really great. So everyone check it out.
I'm excited to see it.
Yeah.
How was Issa?
Oh, she's great.
I love her.
Yeah, her character's really great. Sterling K. Brown is really, really fun.
Wow.
Leslie Uggams is in it, and I love Leslie Uggams. And what's her name? Diana Ross's daughter.
Tracy
Ellis Ross. She's really great in it. Like everyone is really great in it.
I'm excited.
And Jeffrey Wright, hot.
Jeffrey Wright,
and great,
hot.
and great,
and great.
Which is more important than hot, but like hot is also in
on
the
list.
equation.
All right, I didn't know you and Jeffrey Wright.
Oh, I think Jeffrey Wright's very hot.
Beautiful together.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. I think he's probably straight.
He is, but you know what? He can be hot.
He can be hot.
When I meet him, I'll be like, you know what? You're hot.
I think he'll really appreciate that.
He better appreciate it. A compliment from me means everything.
Absolutely it does.
Yeah.
So I guess that's it. Matt Steele.
Yes.
Is there anything else you'd like to tell the people today?
That we love you all.
We love you all so much, and we'll be back next week with more 2 Gay Mats, the podcast.
Bye.
Bye. Cute. All right, I guess I'm excited to see that movie.
Yeah, it's really great.
That's on my list.
I think you would really enjoy it.
I'm trying to think. Okay.
Like,
so what were my movies I really needed to see? American Fiction I want to see.
yeah, I think you
The
like that.
Holdovers.
The Holdovers, you like that. And out of the other like Best Picture contenders, like in terms of nominees, I think you would like Anatomy of a Fall.
Okay.
I think you would enjoy Anatomy
Which one
of
is
a
that?
Fall. It's the French movie where the woman is accused of killing her husband.
Oh, right.
I think you'd enjoy that.
I'm curious about that.
I think those are the three that
Right.
the Best Picture nominees that you'd be into. Besides like Barbie, but you've already
I've seen Barbie.
Yeah,
I've seen Barbie.
So yeah.
All right, great.
I mean, I would love it if you saw Zone of Interest.
I saw the trailer before All of Us Strangers last night, and I was like, nope, not.
It's so good.
I'm sure it's
oh,
good.
it's brilliant.
Seems. I mean,
And Past Lives, you would like Past Lives.
Oh, Past
I think
Lives.
you would like Past Lives. My favorite
Past
of
Lives.
the year,
I
ladies
would
and
like
gentlemen.
that. I would like that.
I saw American Fiction with a similar white liberal audience and had the best reception of any movie I've ever seen. The white people ate it up. They were all about it. Yeah.
Hey, I mean that tracks. Watch The Holdovers for sure. It's very pleasant.
Oh,
I'm
it's
excited.
lovely. Yeah.
I'm excited.
So
All right, I can do all of those before.
you got time.
The
You got
Oscars?
like over a month and a half.
Perfect.
So
I have
you're
time.
good.
Movie Mats is back. Look at us.
Yeah.
First Mean Girls, now this.
Oh God, what's next?
I don't know.
Oh, our Wicked review.
It's not for a while.
It's not for a while, and that's like over Christmas, I guess.
Oh.
Are we gonna be able to do that?
We could like bring our mics and have like a emergency podcast kind of thing.
Okay, it's an emergency. Emergency is extreme.
Emergency podcast.
Wicked came out. We had no idea it was coming.
To come on Christmas Day? Is that when it comes out?
I think it might.
Okay.
Is it Christmas Day?
Actually, it might actually have been pushed up to November.
Oh, that'd be lovely.
That'd be lovely. I'm
we
gonna look that
love
up.
it when we knock a week out, when we
I
know
know.
what we're doing that week.
Wicked movie.
Have you all seen the new
released.
Hunger Games? It's great. I've never seen any Hunger Games.
I have not either. Yes, November 27th.
Okay.
All right, we'll have an emergency video.
Emergency video. It's an emergency video.
Emergency video.
Babylon, yes.
Oh, the Gaga song. I love that.
I love how we're just shouting Babylon. I really liked American Fiction, but I did struggle with the tonal shifts between the book commentary and family stuff. I'm all about a tonal shift. I love tonal shifts.
You also are all about a family drama. So
I mean,
that's
a family
your
like
favorite.
a family comedy / drama. Like I'm all
You're in.
about that. I'm in. Yeah.
Oh my God, you haven't seen any of the Hunger Games. It's a literary masterpiece. Someone was just talking to me. I guess it was one of Jackson's cousins who we saw Mean Girls with. She was a big Hunger Games fan, just saw the new one. But yeah, no, I don't know if I'm needing to see it.
I mean, I'm sure I'll see something at some point.
Yeah, I'll see something.
You know.
Huh. Montana, bring Adam and I as fill-ins. Hey, if you want to call in, give an opinion, we should get a phone line for that.
Babylon stand.
Who doesn't stand Babylon?
Guys, we all
The
stand-
song.
We all stand Babylon.
The song.
Every version of Babylon.
Maybe I'll request the Hunger Games. You can only do one movie at a time.
Yeah.
You can't request all three. We will say no.
And like, don't request the second one because it would have to be the first one, or else we won't know what's happening.
I mean, I'm sure we could pick it up. They're like fighting to the death or whatever, right?
I don't know.
Josh Hutcherson,
There's like a game. They're all fighting.
the little Hemsworth.
Yeah, you like games.
I don't like murder games.
Mafia's a murder
yeah,
game.
true. And I did win the murder game of Among Us
Yeah, so
earlier.
you would do well in the Hunger Games.
Do you think I'd do good on Traitors?
I don't think you'd be bad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Of all of the TV reality competition shows, which do you think I'd be best at and which do you think I'd be worst
The
at?
Traitors, you'd be the worst at. Survivor, obviously. Big Brother, I see you doing well for like the first 4 weeks, and then you'd be like, fuck all of you. I feel like you would be like so
You think
sorry, and you'd just be over it very quickly.
It's such a long time.
Yeah.
It's such a long time in that house.
Yeah. Also, you're not one to like put on a funny outfit and compete.
I mean, I'll do it, but then I'll be like, what is this fun for people?
Yeah, they do a lot of like
I don't want to
goofy
eat
outfits.
slop. I don't want to eat slop.
They don't even talk about the slop on the show anymore. Like,
Oh, I thought it was all slop. Last time I saw it, I felt like it was.
people are haves and haves nots and
Yeah.
everything, but it's not a part of like the edited show anymore. So
Oh.
it's like, why even do it still?
Right.
Big Brother just needs help. It needs help. I'm there to help it.
What? Of course, I will request one at a time. LOL. What if Big Brother's like, oh, the Traitors is becoming a big thing. We should adopt more of like the Traitors gameplay.
I imagine there would be more things implemented because it would just be a more complex game.
Yeah.
And also, like, we'd be watching the feeds live, so like we would be able to like see why they're picking specific people.
Yeah.
Or, like, we'd see the suspicious behavior as opposed to like just seeing confessionals being like, so and so is so suspicious. And it's like, okay, well, I'm not seeing that.
I mean, you didn't see Peppermint respond when Trishelle said she might. That was the stupidest.
Like,
fucking
we
thing
are
I'd ever
really
seen.
just grasping for anything.
That was so dumb.
But I mean, if I was there, I would be grasping for anything too. It's like the first week of Big Brother where people are just grasping for any
But
reason.
early
to
on,
dislike
I
someone.
mean, maybe this wouldn't help the faithfuls or whatever, but I'd just be like, I legitimately don't know. Like,
Yeah.
we've only been a day. Everyone seemed normal.
I mean, that's why I appreciate the faithfuls who like are sitting at the table and they're just like, so and so, I'm voting for you because everyone else is.
Yeah,
and
because I don't
have
know.
to join. Oh, if I was producer of Big Brother, oh,
Yeah, it would be a different show.
I mean, I would want to be on it though.
I
I'd be
know
like, I'm
you
joining
do.
the game. Twist, the producer,
Twist, the producer
is
in the game.
joining in the game.
You've got to make sure I win, guys.
Yeah,
I got you cast.
I would know all the answers to all the questions. It's like,
Yeah, that'd be great.
you know, the game has been more rigged than
Absolutely, it has.
that. Not,
Absolutely,
not
it has.
more rigged than that. I don't want to spread the conspiracy theories, but it has been a little rigged.
I was like, they cannot be talking about Trishelle from the real world Vegas, but we are.
Yeah,
That's the thing. As I watched that girl on her first episode of television,
she was so young, and so are we. So were we.
she's making out with somebody
Steven
in the hot tub.
first episode. No, at the club, and
at the
Frank was
club.
real mad.
Who'd she make? Wasn't there like a threesome in the hot tub? I feel like that was the
She
big.
and like Bree was her name.
Jeff, that is who we're
Started
talking
with
about.
a B, and she also liked Steven. So they just kind of like were both kissing Steven at the same time in the hot tub. They edited it with a bunch of close-ups and like made it look like they were like doing way more extreme things in that hot tub. Real World Las Vegas is overrated. I'm sorry.
I mean,
It's just an overrated season. It had an
Oh.
excellent first like 2 episodes.
Real World Las Vegas, I would say, ruined the whole show.
Bryn was her name. The one who
Bryn.
threw the fork at Steven.
Yes.
Because like in the first 3 episodes, it's like you had Steven making out with Trishelle, and even when Frank liked Trishelle, and it was really dramatic. Then there was like the hot tub scene, and then Bryn threw a fork at Steven. She was like, I just got mad at you because I liked you.
Right.
And those were like 3 like exciting episodes. And then it was just so boring after
I'm
that. It
not.
was like Arissa dealing with her anger problems. And it was like, oh my God,
No.
girl.
And we were coming off of such a great stretch of like Hawaii.
Oh, Chicago.
Oh, I don't remember Chicago.
Chicago's great.
Was it?
I loved Chicago. I mean, that was the first season I watched.
Yeah, I mean, mine first ones were Seattle.
Seattle's excellent.
Hawaii,
New Orleans.
Ooh.
Back to New York was very fun.
Back to
I
New
remember.
York was
I remember
fun.
a lot of vomiting in Back to New
Oh,
York. A lot of
interesting.
throwing up, which was always exciting to watch on TV when you were
And
like a
every time I
preteen.
see The Miz around, like being a wrestler, I'm like, he wanted to do that the whole fucking time. Good
sure.
for him.
Yeah.
Good for him.
I think like Real World is why I like Real World New York was the reason why I was just like, I will never drink, because like they would just get drunk
They would
and
go
they would
crazy.
always throw up.
Yeah.
And they would show, and I would just be like, I don't want that.
I don't want to drink.
I
Thank
don't
you.
want that.
Oh God! And you know, I watched. I don't know if I even finished San Francisco, but I watched Real World San Francisco because it's on Paramount Plus. Because that was the first time I'd ever seen it. And it's like Pedro.
I know.
Pedro.
I remember
Changed
when
the
you were
fucking
all about
world.
like binging the Real World.
I mean, it's a great show.
Yeah.
It's a great show. Changed the world. Oh,
Yeah.
Pedro! Like what an icon.
It's just so interesting to me that the challenge has become
I know it's
so
own
popular and its
giant
own
thing.
thing.
And I'm like-
whereas like when the challenge started, like it was so just like a random little cute
Yes.
little spin-off
Yes.
of Real World and Road Rules
Right.
and everything. And I really didn't think much of it. And
didn't
then
either.
when I stopped watching is when like it really started
They're
like,
on
to take
season
off.
like 39 or
I know.
something crazy.
Yeah.
And CT's still doing them.
Oh, hey, those guys are
Because what Real World was CT on?
Paris.
Paris.
I think Paris is underrated. I liked Paris.
Was that the one Ace was on?
Ace, Mallory,
Mm.
Leah, Christina, Simon, CT. I still got it.
That's wild that you remember that.
Then the next season was San Diego.
San Diego with Cameron from Southern
Cameron
Charm.
from Southern Charm.
Who's not on Southern Charm anymore, and I miss her. But
Brad, what's her name with the boats? Frankie with the boats.
Macy Raz.
Macy Raz.
That was it was full.
She was
Maury
great TV.
feel. Great.
She
TV.
was great.
Great TV.
Yeah.
But Scared of Boats is very funny. Like it's
Yeah.
just like a 30 Rock joke.
Yeah.
Scared of Boats.
There was a girl named Jamie who did absolutely nothing. There's a guy named Marquez or Marquise.
If they're going to old school real world, I do want Melissa from New Orleans on a Traitors season.
Oh my God,
She'd be
great.
iconic.
Yeah.
Fuck, I love her so much. And I mean, maybe even Danny. Those New Orleans people deserved more. And I'm glad they got to film and put out their, reunited season or whatever, even though they've taken them all down.
I'm mad at Paramount Plus for getting rid of those Big Brother Canadas.
They got rid of the Big Brother Canadas? Oh, shit.
I know.
Paramount Plus,
Furious.
Stop ruining things for us.
Now I got to go some random website with a link. Who knows what I'm clicking on?
I know. You're getting all those fucking viruses.
I know. I have to start season 8 of Big Brother Canada, which is I'm not going to say thankfully a short season, but it was a short season because it was abruptly ended.
Why was it abruptly ended?
Remember the pandemic?
Oh, I do remember that.
Yeah, it was like, I think they were like 2 weeks in or something, and they just sat them all down and announced like, so remember when talking about coronavirus, it was a thing before you went in. Well, it's a huge thing now, and the show is canceled.
Then this show is
You're
canceled.
all going home today. So yeah, I feel bad for that. Can you imagine like finally getting on like your dream show? And
it's like they should have them come back and do a full season.
I know.
That would only be fair.
I mean, the pre-gaming would be nuts though. So, but you know, and with Big Brother Canada, I already know who wins all the other seasons anyway because they've been spoiled online for me. But I'll still watch it.
I know you will.
Enjoy. Big Brother Canada is great.
We should have like a Traitors who we would want to see in the next season of Traitors.
Yeah, like a draft.
Yeah, a draft. I'm trying to think of the thing is, Phaedra is the perfect housewife to be a traitor, and I'm trying to think of who else would be
The
good.
thing is, the show is making a buttload of money now.
Yes.
They can afford Miss Tiffany. They can afford
her. I mean, if she did House of Villains,
come on.
she'd kill
They
on
can
Traitors.
afford
She'd kill on Traitors.
Miss Tiffany Pollard.
Oh my God, she'd be so good.
I know.
She'd be so good.
But the thing is, like, they wouldn't make her a traitor, I feel.
Yeah, probably.
I feel like she'd be the best person. Just every week be accusing someone for
and
no
accusing
reason.
them incorrectly.
Like, she is a great person to have be paranoid.
Yeah, that's true. I'm trying to think of which house. I mean, I know she's not on Bravo anymore, and I know she's a racist. But Stassi would be a great fucking traitor. She'd be great on Traitors.
I feel a Tiffany from Big Brother 23 coming in.
Oh,
she would absolutely do it.
For sure.
I could see Tyler from Big Brother, like season 20 and All Stars 2 coming in. I could see them wanting to get him. Who I want though, we all want June from Big Brother 4. We like, and my dream, which will never happen, is fucking Maggie. From
Maggie?
Big Brother 6. That's my dream, to get her to gain an online presence. like I would pay her $1 million to post a picture of herself on the internet.
I know you would. I've never heard that name in my life.
She will never. And if a picture was found of her recently, like a recent picture of her, and it's this blurry picture of her like holding a kid's little like sand shovel or something. And when I tell you, like
Bigfoot,
the Big Brother, yes, Maggie is the Bigfoot of Big Brother. Like the fandom went nuts.
Wow.
And they were just like, "Oh my God, she's coming back!" And it's like, no, she's not. Like she refuses to be. Like she wasn't in the Big Brother 6 like reunion Zoom with Sharon Tharp this summer when they had that. And so she just like. And she was like, "Do any of you still talk to Maggie?" And April was just like, "I talk to Maggie occasionally." And she's just living a very private life. And
maybe Monica from Salt Lake City. She could come.
I mean, that'd be fun.
She would be duplicitous. That's the best thing about it. It's like if you've gotten in real fucking hot water of your own making and had to deal with it, go on Housewives, go on Traitors.
Go on Traitors.
Go on Traitors.
Yeah.
People are ready for it.
Yeah.
All right, guys.
This was lovely.
This was so much fun.
A blessing to you all.
Absolutely. Everyone, I hope you have lovely weeks.
Yeah. It's gonna be nice.
We'll
Happy Oscar nominations day on
Yes.
Tuesday.
Hope everyone is up at 5:30 with Matt Steele. I won't be, but I hope all of you are.
I guess you just don't care.
I don't care that much.
Okay.
But everybody have a lovely week. We love you.
Love you.
See you soon.